Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Welcome to episode 105 of the It's Obvious Gaming podcast. I'm your host, Preston Pugh, and I'm joined by my two best friends, Garrett Drake.
Hello, gentlemen. It's good to be here.
And Jacob Alka.
Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday for us. Happy Monday for people listening.
Indeed.
Yes, absolutely. Happy Monday to everybody. Gentlemen, how are you doing this fine Sunday afternoon?
Well, Preston, I'm doing quite well. It's a nice rainy afternoon here on, here on Sunday in Atlanta, Georgia. It is coming down pretty hard on our end, Preston. How's it on your end?
The same. Traffic was absolutely chaotic. Nobody knows how to drive on the wet roads.
Correct.
So I was currently en route to your house. I got about halfway there, maybe a little bit less than halfway. And lo and behold, I didn't bring a microphone.
Right.
So we were either gonna have to crowd around one like we used to back in the old days, or use a instrument mic or whatever. So I decided to just turn around, come back home, and do the live stream again, like we did last week, unfortunately. But the trip back home was just chaotic. There was a wreck. One of the traffic lights was out. And it just took me like an hour just to get back home, even though I was halfway to your place. So a little bit chaotic, but I survived nonetheless, and I'm here.
Preston, that's nothing short of a nightmare, and I can't even describe to you how grateful we are that you're able to join us through the power of the internet. It's quite convenient, so thank you for being here regardless of your situation.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I tried to keep the tradition alive by going to have a Taco Bell meal by my lonesome self. And I went to the new Taco Bell that is opened near my house, and the line was wrapped around the entire store, but I saw nobody was inside. So I parked, went inside to go get a to-go meal, and they told me it was going to take like 30 minutes to get my food.
My goodness.
Yeah, I know.
Better be some damn good Taco Bell if you're waiting half an hour.
Yeah, I know. And like I've said numerous times, like I've worked at Taco Bell, and I know the food takes like 5 seconds to make, so it blew my mind that it was going to take that long. She told me they were like understaffed and stuff, so whatever. I think that is completely uncalled for. So I went to another one like 4 minutes up the street, and they destroyed my order, messed up everything. I had to go inside and get it straightened out. And I asked for what's the word I'm looking for? Just to say they're sorry. They were like, "Would you like a beverage?" I said, "Sure, I'll take a Baja Blast." Well, they gave me the freeze, and I was like, "No, I want the fountain drink." And she looked at me like, she was so confused. I was like, "No, I want the soda." And she goes, "Okay, well, what size do you want?" I said, "Medium." And then she just stares at me even more, and I'm just like, "Okay." And she goes, "Well, what do you want?" And I said, "I don't understand what you're asking." She goes, "Do you want like Mountain Dew or Pepsi?" I was like, "No, I want Baja Blast, like I told you initially." And she was like, "Well, that's what we gave you." I said, "No, I want the soda version of the Baja Blast." And she didn't even know that existed.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I was like, "How do you work at Taco Bell?"
She clearly has not been to Taco Bell often before working there.
Yeah. I don't see how you can work there for more than a day and not realize that Baja Blast is a soda. But nonetheless, it was actually very good Taco Bell, and the Baja Blast was quite a good brew. So in the end, everything turned out okay, but it was a little bit of a hassle to get there.
That's wonderful. That's great.
It's probably fresh because no one's been serving it to anyone.
Seriously. That's awesome,
Probably.
Preston. I'm sorry that you've had an interesting situation you've been in today with the traffic and the Taco Bells. So I did not actually get to... What is that you, Preston?
It's you.
Is it me?
Is it me?
Yeah.
I bet you $100 it's my sister calling. No, it's my aunt. Hold on.
Oh, nice.
I'm using my mom's computer to talk to
Tell her
Preston.
to buzz off.
1 sec. It won't stop ringing. 1 second.
I don't hear anything.
Okay, hopefully she doesn't call again. Anyway, what were we talking about? Yeah, what did you do this week, Preston? Other than work. I saw one of your colleagues at Jersey Mike's. It was excellent. I missed him dearly. He used to be one of my colleagues.
Yeah. He told me he saw you. Said you were really handsome. I heard y'all flirted a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I worked. Still getting over this sickness. It's still in me. In my sinuses and stuff, they're super stuffy. Like even me just touching my forehead right now, it hurts pretty bad. So I stopped putting it off any longer and went to the doctor, and they prescribed me an antibiotic. And that was just yesterday, so I've only had 3 doses of it. So hopefully that'll start kicking in here pretty soon, because it is messing with me. Just my schedule. Like I cannot work out. It is like impossible to work out with my sinuses this bad. Every time I do any type of movement that requires me bending over or getting in a plank position or anything, jumping at all, it feels like somebody's smashing me in the forehead with a sledgehammer, and it's just so painful. So it's affecting that. It's affecting me being able to work, like just moving around at work. It's just painful. So hopefully in the next few days, I'll get over this, because I've never actually had a lot of problems with my sinuses up until this point in my life. So I'm a little new to this, and I'm not a fan of it at all.
Yeah, Lord willing, you don't end up like me having to have your nose carved open. That was not the most pleasant experience I've ever had, but in retrospect, everyone who had the operation before I did told me it was just awful, and I didn't have any issues whatsoever. I mean, sure, I would have rather not had surgery, but going through it was not nearly as bad as people described. And I was going to tell Ryan, actually, who you work with, that he should go through with it because he also needs the same surgery, but he was afraid because people told him the same thing. Well, I just went ahead and did it. I don't know what in me compelled me to do so, but I went through with it. So I'm eager to tell him that if he's desperate to have his nose fixed, he should go ahead and do it, because it wasn't half bad. But seriously, though, I hope you feel well soon. But you mentioned planking, Preston. When you get down in a plank position, are you still on the planking trend where you plank everywhere around town and post pictures online?
Yes.
Because that is so sick, dude. That's some of the coolest things I've ever seen.
I'm trying to bring it back here. I'm not
very good at planking myself.
I plank and fidget spin at the same time.
On top of all the latest trends. I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, what'd you do this week, Jacob?
It's impressive to do fidget spinners and plank at the same
Seriously,
time.
now, Preston, where do you place the fidget spinners when you're planking?
Do you put them on your toes and your fingers?
Yes, my butt too.
Oh, dude, that is awesome.
Mm-hmm. I just have like a giant helicopter blade that I rotate on my ass as I plank.
Dude, we should make a sick IOG vlog about fidget spinners and planking and take off like wildfire, I bet. That's where we'll hit our big mark. Almost,
when I was at a CVS getting some Sudafed the other day, they had fidget spinners at the cashier, and I almost bought one. They were like $5. I just wanted to see what everybody was raving about, but I held off on that purchase.
A guy at my work has one, and I tried it out, and I don't see what the point is.
Right, you just hold it and it spins around, right?
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I understand, because you know me. Anybody that knows me and has hung out with me knows that I'm always poking buttons or like shaking my leg or messing with something.
Right.
So I feel like this would have been a good thing for me, but it's just been blown out of proportion, and it's just so dumb now that I would never buy one.
Yeah, it's funny when you speak of your shaking leg. I think some of the first comments we ever got on this YouTube channel would be one guy that'd be like, "Quit shaking your fucking leg, man."
Yeah, sorry. I've
okay, though.
Just shaking my leg since I was pretty much born. It's just a habit I can't get over.
Maybe you should try a fidget spinner just for fun.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe if I see one next time at CVS or something, I'll probably just pick one up.
Okay.
Apparently, there are some that are over $100.
Really?
Yes.
Now, when do you guys think this trend will die? Because it'll definitely die.
It's already dead.
It's already dying.
Right.
I'm sure the guy that invented these things is probably already racked it in, so he's good to go.
Right. He probably doesn't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care. There's an internet craze for a couple of weeks. I think nearly every massive YouTuber, at the very least, mentioned fidget spinners. And now we're doing our part to mention them, because that's what all the big wigs are doing here on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
I'm
mentioned them, and hopefully
teachers.
we have some notoriety now. What's that?
I'm friends with a few teachers on Facebook, and just all I see is just Facebook posts of them like freaking out, telling parents not to buy them for their kids, because I'm sure in like elementary school, kids are just having them like crazy, and it's distracting and stuff.
Right. There was a trend that came and went when we were in middle school and high school with tech decks. You remember this, Jacob, where everyone was bringing their tech decks to school?
Yep.
They were crazy, and everyone had them, and teachers got pretty upset about that too. I remember it was big when we were in 8th grade. And then a couple years later, sophomore, junior year of high school, it just rose again, and everyone had their tech decks
Remember how
back.
hard it was to change the wheels?
Oh, yeah, it was very tedious.
Pieces.
Now, do you remember the hand tech decks that were as big as your hand, the slightly bigger ones you ever had?
No.
I had both sizes.
That's weird.
I had the mini ones, the ones that are big enough
Why'd
for
you
your
want
hand.
this as big as your hand?
They just look cool. Especially
they
if you
did.
like
They're
skateboard.
huge.
I mean, they weren't that big. They're maybe like 8 or 9 inches. Maybe they're like a foot long. I can't remember. But
Do you put both hands on it?
you can, yeah. You can do like
That's
literal.
so stupid.
You can watch videos on YouTube. People doing like literal. I mean, you can do it with a tech deck too with your fingers, but people doing literal ollies and kick flips and shove its and stuff. It was cool. But I used to love
never
those things.
understood the tech deck stuff. It was always so dumb to me.
Right. I just loved it because that was when I had a craze for skateboarding. And I mentioned in the past I briefly skateboarded for a while. I was never very good, but I was obsessed with Tony Hawk video games and watching Bob Burnquist videos online when I could find them on like eBombs World or stupidvideos.com or something. You guys ever go to stupidvideos.com?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember I found out about that because my mom's cousin, this is way back in the day before YouTube existed, I think, told me like, dude, you ever been to stupidvideos.com? And I didn't even know the internet existed at this point. I was like, no, what's that? He's like, oh, it's this internet website you can go to. It's his webpage in the web, dude. It's like a bunch of videos of people doing stupid things in there. You should go check it out. And the first video I ever watched on the internet in my entire life was a little kid who tries to, I think I showed it to you, Preston, the kid that tries to run and jump into the pool, but he jumps too early and falls on his face.
Yeah.
I thought that was the funniest thing in the world. I mean, it may not be funny at all now, but considering that was the first video I ever saw on the internet, I thought it was hysterical. And that changed my life forever. Now we're posting videos of our own on the internet. Pretty surreal, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah.
But Jacob, what'd you do this week?
I worked a lot.
Did you?
This coming week, I'm going to be working every day of the week except Sunday and next Monday.
Okay, now riddle me this, Jacob. Are you excited about that because of the funds you'll receive in return? Or
No.
would you much rather just not work as often?
I'd much rather not work as often.
Okay, because you make enough money to where you can afford to take a couple days off a week, right?
I could.
Okay. Well,
But I'm going to be covering a shift next Wednesday, so I'll have to work that day.
Well, think of it this way, Jacob. If you decide to trade in your gold PS4, which later on in this episode we're going to talk about why it's going to become obsolete very soon, then you can trade it in for that PS4 Pro you've been talking about very easily.
What's that have to do with this?
I'm saying all that extra money you're making, if you need a little bit of extra dough to pay it off, you'll have it.
Well, I don't need the dough just to get the PS4, but
It's true. I'm just trying to look on the bright side for you, Jacob.
I understand that.
Whenever
Thank
I have to work extra and I don't want to, I try to think of the bright side.
I got you. But yeah, then Saturday I'm working. What I would work that next Monday because I'm taking it off for E3. So
Excellent. I lucked out with, actually, I just lied to you, Jacob. I can't remember if my classes start back on Monday or Tuesday next week, but regardless, I'll probably skip class for E3 if I have to on my first day.
that's bad.
But I'll just email my professor like, I don't know what I'll say. I'll just probably be honest with him, but we'll find out. I kept thinking that this week was E3, and I keep forgetting that it's next week. So we'll play it by ear, but we'll make it happen regardless. Yeah, my week was pretty laid back. I didn't really do anything, I don't think. I think I finished my classes, finished my Design 2 class, my little art class where I had to make my wiener dog out of clay. I got a 93 on it. I was quite proud of myself. And his name was John Wiener. He's a private investigator. I had to write a whole backstory for him. He's a good wiener dog detective. Or private investigator, I should say. That class went surprisingly well. Ironically enough, I believe I got a higher grade in that class than my screenwriting class, because my screenwriter professor is easily the best teacher I've had at my school so far. And definitely respect the man. He's incredibly good at what he does. But he's one of those professors that even if you hit the mark exactly where you want it, he just doesn't give A's. I think everyone in my class got 89s on all of our screenplays. No one got an A for some reason, but great class, and it was very interesting diving into the world of screenwriting. I don't think I'll ever pursue it, but it's definitely something I value, having learned it. So, or at least beginning to learn it. It was cool. Okay. So I finished my school quarter. I have a week off technically it started Thursday, but I have this whole week off to do hopefully some video work and prep for our E3 streams we're going to be doing later on in the weekend. It's going to be exciting. But other than that, I just played video games. What games do you guys play this week?
I played a lot of Persona.
Now, tell us about your conclusion to your experience with the game, Preston.
Yeah, Persona has come to an end for me, which is very bittersweet. I'm kind of a little bit Persona'd out, because that's essentially the only game I've played for the past since it was released, I've just been playing that and just barely dabbling in other things. But these past 2 weeks, I hunkered down and just played Persona the entire time. And I platinumed it finally around it was either 170 or 180 hours. I don't remember. But man, that's such a lengthy process to finish that game. I pretty much did 2 complete playthroughs, and it's such a long game, but it's so good. It still blows my mind how much content is in that game and just how good it is just consistently throughout. So yeah, that's pretty much all I did.
Yeah, that's fascinating, Preston. I'm quite proud of you.
Thank you. It's definitely one of my proudest platinums. Not that it's hard. It's not hard in the slightest. It's just a lot.
Time consuming.
A lot to do. Very time consuming. A lot of planning had to go into it. I had to list out which trophies that I was going to pursue in my second playthrough. Kind of just guessing when I would be done with certain confidants. The side quests I needed to pursue at particular times, certain amount of money I needed for certain things. So it was very rewarding. I tried to stay away from guides as much as possible, but the only things I kind of looked up were the best ways to make money and the best ways to level up. But besides that, I kind of just, tried to figure it out for myself. So that's what I did. I finished that on... Oh man, I don't know, last Thursday, and I immediately went right into Prey, which the day that I was going to go back into Prey, I opened up the YouTube app on the old phone, and I saw that Digital Foundry had just released a new Prey video discussing the latest patch for Prey on PS4, and this patch was the one that actually included the pro features to Prey. So I got very excited. I was like, oh yeah, dude, this is perfect. Right when I'm getting back into Prey, the pro features are there. Well, the video goes in, explaining what's added. It's still in 1080p, unfortunately. I mean, the game still looks fine, it's whatever. It just added a bunch of stuff that I honestly wouldn't even notice, just this, you can see this light further along, or there's a surface reflection that isn't in the version. It just overall just improves pretty much
atmospheric
everything.
Elements that kind of spruce it up a wee bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Well, they say with all of this added, the game has turned into, as far as games they've tested, the worst frame pacing they have ever seen.
No way.
Yeah, ever. So I was like, you have got to be kidding me. I've been looking so much forward to Prey, and it's not like I can just turn it off and go back to what it originally was on the base PS4. This is what I have.
Right.
So I was super disappointed, but I wanted to give it a shot anyways, and I've played I actually started over again because I loaded up my latest save. I have no clue what my powers were. I have no clue what was going on with the story and stuff. And this is very much a game where I want to know what's going on. So I didn't start completely over. I just loaded a save once you kind of got released in a Talos 1, once you were able to do whatever you want. So I started from there, and I've been playing for about 6 or 7 hours, and this will totally show what a console plebe I am, but I can't tell any of the stuff that they're talking about. Okay. I don't notice any frame pacing issues. There was one drop here or there when I was in a giant battle, but it literally lasted for 0.5 seconds. The controls, I know the control issues that were persistent before the patches, those are completely gone, and it's actually way better than it was the last time I played. It's extremely smooth, and the controls are very responsive. I feel completely capable of aiming, and when mimics are flying around the screen, it's very easy to hit them with a wrench and stuff, unlike it was before this patch. So I'm enjoying it a ton. like I said, I'm not really seeing any of these issues that they were. I'm sure they are there. I just don't know what to look for. And I'm not like analyzing it. Like I'm not staring at the screen. If screen tearing is going on, I don't really notice it, blah, blah, blah. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm way past where I was when I had last left off, and the story's really interesting. I'm meeting some like really psychotic I just met like a psychotic character who's pretty cool, and I'm kind of like hunting him down now, and I'm knocking out all these side quests, getting to know the crew members of Talos 1. And it sucks. I'll learn about these members, I'll go through like their logs and their emails, and I'll hear them like talk with each other, and then when I find the dead body of one of the people that I've been listening to, it's a bummer. I'm like, oh dang, that sucks. Like I want to find these people like alive. You get to know them a little bit in these logs they leave, and it really sucks when you find them dead. So that's a cool that just shows how good that the voice acting is, and these backstories behind these characters, because I actually, when I find a dead body, it kind of bumps me out that I couldn't do anything to save them. So that makes it like really cool when you do finally find somebody that is alive. You want to make sure that, they're safe and stuff. So
yeah, for sure. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm really liking it. The combat is not very good at the beginning of the game, though. That's the only thing that sucks. It gets way better once you start getting these alien powers, and you actually, get a shotgun and stuff, and you start upgrading them to where you can take out these guys more efficiently. So that's pretty much the only downside, is just, I already said this in my initial first reactions of Prey, but just play through. If the atmosphere and the story's intriguing to you, but the gameplay really isn't doing it for you, just kind of push through it a little bit, because it does get immensely better once you start unlocking these powers and other weapons and stuff. So that's what I'm doing right now, and that's that. And once my head gets better, I'll start playing Farpoint again. But probably that and Farpoint are the only things in the future that I'll really like be diving into, because as far as I know, I could be completely forgetting anything, a new release coming out this summer, but I don't think there's anything like big coming out super soon. So
right.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm doing right now.
Nice. Well, 2 space adventures for Preston. Jacob, what have you been playing?
The new Overwatch competitive season started this week, so for the most part, I've been dabbling in that.
Excellent. How's it going? You get all your placement matches done?
Not good. I've done 5 placement matches. I'm 2 and 3, I think. 2 of my matches I had levers, so I was just destined to lose those games.
Yeah, it's lame.
Then I had another game where there was like 4 children on my team and just screaming the whole time, and it was a fucking nightmare.
Did you mute them?
No, they were on my team.
You couldn't mute them?
No, they were communicating somewhat.
Okay, just screaming at each other.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't like annoy me to the brink of like
wanting to leave.
Right,
for you to become the villain.
Right, but it was a nightmare. So I've had a lot of bad luck. I've only done 5 placement matches so far. We had a Overwatch live stream this week, 3v3. We went 10-0.
We did.
Is, unheard of for me and you, I guess.
I guess
we never win together.
For some reason, dude, because I told you the other night before we not shot that video, but hosted that live stream. The night before, 2 nights before, I had been playing 3v3 with these 2 dudes I started with, and we teamed up because we did so well the first round. And we didn't say one word to each other the entire time. All we did was use the voice lines hello and thank you the entire time, every time we won a round or a round started. So we played... we won more than 10 the night before. I played like 11 or 12 with them. We went undefeated the whole time, and I was like, I need to go to... I didn't tell them this, obviously, but it was like 4 in the morning. I was like, I should probably go to bed now. But that's why I wanted to do 3v3, because I figured if you, me, and another guy who happened to be Kyle from the community, if we teamed up and communicated, there's no reason we shouldn't be able to go undefeated. So we did, in fact, go 10-0, and I imagine we would have gone even further had you not had to leave. Yeah. But it was a fun stream, for sure.
We had a couple close calls, but, we prevailed in the end.
We did, dude. I don't know what I would do without May. Now, I get it. May is not a hard character to play, but she helped us win quite a few nail biters there in a couple of those matches, dude, at the very end. It was intense.
Yeah, you definitely clutched a few rounds.
It was exciting. It was a very exciting stream. That is on our YouTube channel for those who missed that live stream. If you have any interest in watching us go 10-0 in 3v3 in the new arena maps.
Yep. Besides that, I played Persona 5 again. Beat the 6th Palace. I'm the story's kind of coming together now. I'm in the 7th Palace currently. Slowly working my way towards that. Very interesting story. I can't.
Yeah, Jacob, what you think about that? I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Guys, let's talk about all the spoilers right now. Let's go.
It was surprising. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
It makes sense though. I like how they tie it together.
Yeah, it's really cool.
You guys are scaring me.
Yeah, but Garrett, I can't express to you enough that you need to get back to that game.
I get that. I mean, I'll other than just playing little experiences, over the weekend I acquired so much additional work to do over the foreseeable future that I have no idea when I'm going to have time to play Persona again. And it kills me because Preston talking about platinuming it and loving it, and everyone else in the community talking about how much they love it, and you, Jacob, getting through it. Just everything I have going on, it isn't even a choice anymore. I literally cannot play anything that lengthy right now. It sucks so much. So, but hopefully one day in this life I can finish it. I intend to, and in fact I will. If I don't die anytime soon, I will finish Persona 5. The only thing that will keep me from playing it is if I'm dead. So I will finish it at some point. But I'm just in a very busy season right now.
I got you. And besides that, I played some Mario Kart a couple times when I was on the road this week.
You did? How's that going for you?
It's good. I 3-starred all the 150cc cups.
Beautiful.
And I literally just started before we started recording the reverse courses.
Mm-hmm.
So
I found those to be a little frustrating.
Well, I don't think I know the tracks as well as you, so it's not that bad for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you learn them.
I'm kind of just learning them again now.
I mean, if you know some of the tracks well enough, you can almost imagine them reversed, and that's quite easy. But some of the ones that I haven't played as often, playing them in reverse is an absolute nightmare. I had to redo multiple pre's for the reverse tracks because I would just screw up at the very end on one track and lose. It was terrible. But.
And I briefly hung out with Elliot last night, and we were playing the 200cc.
Yeah,
tracks.
how did that go?
It was a nightmare.
Was it?
I can't do it.
I've never tried it.
It's so hard.
I kind of want to try it.
You have to brake all the time in your drifts.
And I have to learn how to do that brake drift or whatever.
Okay.
It's kind of scary.
Now, the brake is the B button, right, on the controller? So I feel like I wish it was a left trigger and you could switch your item to like a bumper or something. I feel like that'd make it easier, but...
Yeah. I mean, you just have to, like, while you're holding A and drifting, you just have to, like,
maneuver your thumb over it.
Yeah, you have to just lay your thumb down on B while you're pressing A. So,
interesting.
Once you get the hang of it, it's not too bad.
Okay. Yeah, I love Mario Kart. That's actually been one of the games I jump into when I have a little bit of time to play stuff. And I love playing online. That's been my favorite experience. Whether I'm playing with you guys or friends from the community or just online with the worldwide people, it's always exciting. It's always quite a wild experience because there's just items constantly flying everywhere and everyone knows the tracks very well when you play online, so it always makes it interesting, especially when it's a full team playing. So not full team, but the whole lobby's playing, so it's been a lot of fun.
And that was it for me.
Nice. Yeah, as I mentioned, I'm super busy right now, so what were you going to say?
I was I've hardly played any Mario Kart this past week.
Yeah,
until like the last couple of days, I didn't play all week. Mm-hmm. So
I love that game. Whenever I have time to play it as often as I can. That and Zelda.
Awesome.
I did nick away at Zelda a little bit earlier this week, going to and from school. I just
driving.
While I was in traffic, I was playing Zelda. I have been nicking away at the shrines. I acquired the Hylian shield. I went to Hyrule Castle and just explored and finally found it. I for sure thought the Hylian shield was going to be in Zelda's bedroom, but it wasn't. So obviously I found her diary. But I won't tell you where it was, but there go my dogs as usual. But I did finally find it in the castle, and it was cool discovering it. And I knew I had found it, Preston, when I found who was defending it, because I remember when you originally sent the screenshot of you finding it, there was a little corner of this enemy in the frame of the picture you sent us. So as soon as I saw him, I knew I'd found it. But that was exciting to acquire. Now I'm still nicking away at shrines. I think I've hit almost 80 of them, so I still have plenty to go. But every time I play that game, I can't put it down. I know it's hilarious. I'm still playing Zelda and haven't finished it, but I accidentally went into the boss room and realized how easy that boss fight is, but I didn't finish it. Obviously, I didn't want to kill him just yet, so I have reverted to exploring Hyrule to find all those shrines before I complete the game, but it's been awesome. I love it. As I mentioned, I play a little Mario Kart as well, not doing anything but online. We dabbled in some more Farpoint. I think we have 1 or 2 more parts out on the YouTube channel. I think we're on part 4 is coming with Jacob. No. Maybe it's part 5. I can't remember. I've lost track. I'm so busy. But Jacob's part is coming soon this week. We're still necking away. I know it's a short game. We probably could have blown through it already. But Jacob and I's schedules conflict a lot during the week, so us getting together to shoot videos is difficult. But had a lot of fun with it as well. It's a phenomenal VR experience for PlayStation VR, and hopefully at E3, which we'll talk about later, we'll see some more VR titles announced because I love that headset whenever I use it. But additionally, I played some Rainbow Six Siege. I jumped back into it mostly because of the Velvet Shell update to the game, and I hadn't played in a while, and I want to be very good at it, at least on PlayStation 4. I know most the really good players play on PC, but every time I play that game, I'm reminded as to how much I actually enjoy it. I mean, it's very difficult to master, and it's very tedious and tactical, but when you really get the hang of how the game plays and feels and how to work with teammates and all the different abilities and equipment all the characters can possess, it just makes it a really deep, dynamic experience every single time. So that game feels amazing too. Like every time I play it, it's just buttery smooth when you shoot and run around and take cover and everything. It's awesome. So if those of you have, I know a lot of you from the community have played Siege, but if you have not played Siege, you have any interest in doing so, I highly suggest it. It's been a ton of fun. We do have a new Let's Play of me screwing around in Siege, moderately performing in a match online, if you have any interest in checking it out. And if you check it out, I'd love to play with you guys possibly sometime this week and team up because I love playing that game. So I'm sticking to smaller experiences as far as getting my gaming fill, whether we're making videos or I'm doing any other jobs I have. When I actually have genuine free time, it has to be smaller experiences because I have maybe at the most an hour to 2 hours tops a week to actually play games, which breaks my heart, but everything I'm pursuing in life right now is worth the sacrifice. But other than that, just some Overwatch with Jacob. That was awesome.
Any more Injustice?
No, I've not touched Injustice since I beat the story, but I love the story mode of Injustice. I think I mentioned it last week. It's phenomenal. And I intend to go back and play some multiverse stuff, and I still have to duke it out with multiple OGs out there. If you guys still want to fight, just hit me up sometime this week. Hopefully I'll have some time to button mash you to victory, which is something I excel at. So look forward to it.
Excellent.
But yeah, that's it for me, Preston.
Awesome. I think that'll do it then, gentlemen. This is the It's Obvious Gaming Podcast, the show where my two best friends and I get together every single week to discuss video games, obviously. You can find all of our content, including the video version of this podcast, over at youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming. If YouTube isn't good for you or you'd like to take us on the go, you can find this podcast weekly on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Audio Boom, and other podcasting services. Please check the description down below for links to our social media pages, our Discord channel, PlayStation community, and other means to connect with us. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel and be sure to like and comment down below to get involved with the It's Obvious community. Doing so helps us out a ton, and we would forever be in your debt. With all that out of the way, hey man, what's the news?
Bros. Well, guys, we're just talking about Overwatch, and Overwatch has recently released on the PTR the Overwatch Horizon Lunar Colony map, which was originally Winston's home when he was a young gorilla eating a plethora of peanut butter, what was his owner's name again? Not really his owner, but the scientist's
Winston.
name? Winston, Dr. Winston, correct? And that's how Winston got his name.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the trailer for the map and Winston doing voiceover over it and talking about how much he loved being there. And watching the map in action, Jacob, tell me what you think about it.
Well, obviously, I think the coolest part of the map is something that's you can just overlook if you're not paying attention, but it's the anti-gravity zone where you actually go outside the station and, you can just float, which is awesome.
Right. Totally different for Overwatch, too. It was kind of interesting to see.
Yeah. And they're actually, when the map goes live in the game, they're adding in the custom games, they're putting the option to make any map like that.
No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Could be some fun screwing around in custom games.
Absolutely. That sounds great.
But the map in general, it's cool. I guess it's another 2 capture point map, which most people don't like because of, the consistency of draws happening. But, the map itself looks cool. I can't wait to try it out for myself. Unfortunately, like we always say, we're on console, so we won't get to play it until it goes live.
Right.
But, I'm excited when it does.
You and me both, my friend. I think it looks awesome. And all the gameplay I've seen, it definitely is very wide open. A lot of ranged fights will probably occur, I imagine. I've only watched Fenner play it. I haven't watched anyone else, but it looks cool. I'm excited as well. So hopefully it gets here sooner rather than later.
A lot of people think there's going to be a hero packaged in the same update because There was like, I think it was one of the teasers they did. There was like a list of names of all the different gorillas. And there was Winston. There was another one above him named Hammond, I think.
Right. Yeah, I saw that somewhere.
They didn't know what happened to him. Like they're both active, and everyone else is like deceased or
Hammond,
something.
huh?
Yeah.
Well, you think it'd be another?
I think it might
character?
be another character. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think he'd be a tank? I doubt he'd be a tank.
I don't know.
It'd be cool if he was like a small. What if he was like a chimpanzee or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like a small.
I don't know
monkey?
if they're all gorillas, if they're different kind of monkeys. You know.
Man, I'd love to see. Because I imagine we've gotten 2 healers. No. We have a healer character who was new. We have an attacker.
Apparently someone that like a big Overwatch leaker on Reddit I saw is saying that he's going to be a support.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't know if there's any, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what his, like where he's getting his claims from. Like, I don't know if he's going to be right.
Okay.
But
all right.
This is what he's speculating.
No, if they do another monkey or gorilla, I think it'd be cool if he was a smaller monkey. And anything but a role other than tank, I guess, would be cool.
You don't want him to be like the same size as Winston.
No, I feel like there'd be too many gorillas. So,
well, maybe he is a gorilla.
Maybe he's a baby gorilla. How about that? That never grows up. I don't know. We'll see. That is fun to speculate, though. Speaking of Overwatch, Roadhog has been drastically nerfed on the PTR, and we have details concerning that issue from Allegra Frank of Polygon. She says, quote, Roadhog's scrap gun weapon now fires 30% faster than before, but does 33% less damage, according to the patch notes. The clip size of that gun also got a boost from 4 rounds to 5. Blizzard Entertainment explained that this was meant to make Roadhog, who can quickly land one-hit kills on Overwatch's squishier heroes, less powerful. The scrap gun changes reduce the power of his hook combo and alternate fire burst damage potential while keeping his damage per second roughly the same. So I watched this in action, a comparison where he's the original Roadhog shooting compared to the new one. Have you seen that comparison?
Yeah.
Okay, it's interesting to see because you do fire significantly quicker. Mm-hmm. The 5th round I think is interesting, but the less damage. Apparently it's balanced. It's just it's kind of weird because I've heard that he essentially can do the same thing if you're accurate, but at the same time he feels so different because everyone's used to feel like he was the big, fat, slow character, and now he's just quicker. It's interesting. I don't know. What do you think about it?
Yeah, you basically said it.
Right.
He's going to be a lot less deadly, I feel like. Mm-hmm. You'll have a chance to escape, hopefully.
Right.
As a Tracer main myself, it'll be nice to not just die instantly when I get hooked sometimes.
Right. Yeah. I will say that every time I use Roadhog, I do feel so deadly. Every single time. Whenever I hook someone and they're small like Pharah or Tracer, I'm like, it's always so satisfying because you know it's an instant kill.
There's probably nothing I'm more scared of in Overwatch than Roadhog.
Yeah, he's horrifying.
I hate it.
Yeah. But at the same time, I kind of love him for that because it isn't like everyone spams Roadhog. I mean, if you're good with Roadhog, you can be effective, but some people just suck with him. Like I myself, I've had my moments with Roadhog, but overall, I'm not very good with Roadhog.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You got to be good at getting the hooks.
Exactly.
If you're not getting your hooks, then you're just a waste of space.
Yeah, it's crucial. So that's interesting. An interesting change. I'm interested. Interesting. That's my word of the day. It's very strange, I think, to switch him up that drastically, but I'm definitely wanting to try him out when he comes to console eventually.
They've added a couple other changes to some heroes.
Yeah, you're right. Do you have any details on the other ones?
Reaper, I think, are the big ones.
Okay, what are those changes? Because this was obviously the biggest one.
Yeah, Reaper. I don't know if I remember the Reaper. Forgive me, but McCree, his Deadeye, his ultimate, it locks on faster. So you have a chance of killing more people.
Okay.
Because prior his ultimate, or what it is now, it's weak. Like
that's funny you say that.
You're lucky if you get a kill.
Yeah, because
people can just kill you so quickly because you're so immobile.
I rarely have gotten more than 2 or 3 kills max with McCree's super in the past. Yeah. So, or his ultimate, I should say. That's cool. What'd you say about Reaper?
I don't remember
what
his change was.
Yeah, well, obviously Roadhog was the biggest one. But some of the funniest quotes I saw that Polygon shared from people commenting on Reddit about this post were Roadhog rides no more. That was hilarious. And then another one was more like Rip Hog. It's hilarious. So, yeah, people are quite upset, it seems, especially over Roadhog mains, but it doesn't make a huge difference to me because I haven't tried it yet. So I guess we'll find out when the time comes. And speaking of Overwatch, Jacob, we've been in a bit of a situation with the anniversary loot boxes. In fact, the entire world seems to be a little upset about the drop rate of these legendary skins and such. So we have an OG from the community, Mr. Frosty Shake.
I did get the Lucio skin.
Did you?
I did.
That's great. I'm glad to hear it, Jacob. I have not gotten. I've gotten probably. I bought 10 or 11, however many you can buy the smallest pack when the anniversary first started. all 10 of those only got Diva, which is great. I can't complain about that. But I've unlocked maybe 11 or 12 more since then because I've ranked up and played a lot of arena stuff to unlock more, and I've literally got nothing but duplicates and sprays the entire time. That's terrible. So Mr. Frosty Shake says, "What's up, y'all? This is one for Jacob, but I'd like to hear everyone's. With the Overwatch anniversary event, a lot of people are speaking out on the loot box system, enough to get a response out of Blizzard. They have had really great discussions and are listening. I believe when I buy a $60 premium game with microtransactions, I should have the option to work for the items in-game without having to play 12 hours a day. I looked up methods to get the unlocks more reliably, and the answer is this. Buy 100 plus loot boxes every season to get all of the skins. Do you guys have any ideas on how the system could be improved on? I've heard ideas such as removing duplicates / offering more coin for duplicates, only putting seasonal loot in seasonal boxes, and skin, quote, crafting. Love the game, but something needs to change. P.S. I felt your pain opening those 50 loot boxes, buddy."
Thank you.
Yeah, so Jacob, how do you think they can improve the loot box situation? Because the thing, I've opened loot boxes in the past during some of the seasons and gotten plenty of skins, but it seems like this one especially, there's something that's different.
I think the main thing they need to fix, or one thing, is the credits you get for duplicates, especially in the seasonal skins. You only get 300 credits for a legendary, and you have to pay 3,000 to unlock it if it's a seasonal event. If it's a regular legendary, it's 1,000. And it gives you 500 if you get that duplicate. So I don't understand what the correlation is there. It's kind of sketchy to me.
Right.
It's almost as if you need to spend the money to get the skins.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, I don't blame them. I imagine Blizzard's making an absolute killing off of all those loot box purchases, but
especially if people are buying 100 loot boxes.
Exactly. I mean, do you feel, not that it really matters, they can do whatever they want, but do you think they lowered the drop rate for this event?
Maybe.
Because it definitely feels like that way. Because it'd be one thing if just one or two of us felt that way, but it seems overwhelmingly so everyone's saying the same thing.
Well, I've seen people have better luck, I've watched videos. Yeah. I don't really know.
I know Kyle mentioned when we were talking to him that he is lucked out pretty well with all the loot boxes and got most of the skins. He has that soldier skin that I want so bad before the event ends. When does it end again? Is it sometime this week? Or is it next week?
Next week.
Okay, because if I can have one more skin, I want the soldier skin because I think he looks awesome and his gun looks incredible.
Yeah. So I might have to buy more loot boxes just to get all the skins.
Yeah,
it kills me.
We'll see. I have no money whatsoever right now, so I have no choice but to just play and hope I get something in a drop. Yeah, but we'll see. That brings us to our next story of the week, gentlemen. Far Cry 5 this is a fact, has a petition on change.org. And this is a story that's been circulating quite a bit this past week, but Mr. Malachi Selly from the community also brought it to our attention. I actually took a little excerpt from the intro of the petition online, which the whole thing, if you read it, is clearly just a joke. But I thought this is hilarious. I'm going to read a little bit of it to gather your guys' thoughts. This is a quote from the petition. It says, "Enough is enough, Ubisoft. We sat through your multicultural lectures and your preachy games aimed at degenerates and misogynators. We've tolerated it in the name of gameplay design and innovation, but no more. Far Cry 5 is an insult to your fan base, the Americans who make up the majority of your customers, and it's time you woke up to that fact. Change this or cancel it." End quote. How do you guys feel about the petition on change.org for Far Cry 5? You still there, Preston? I haven't heard from you in like 6 years.
Yeah, dude, I was just so into Overwatch. I was just zoning out thinking about it.
Yeah, I know. It's hard for you to contain your excitement with Overwatch.
Yeah, I know. No, about this is dumb. You shouldn't petition any game. Like, that's just, okay, even if you disagree with it, just don't buy it.
Right.
That's just, I don't think there should be any regulations or restrictions on anything, about video games. People should be able to make whatever they want. And if you don't agree with it or support it, then just don't buy it. Don't try and make somebody, change their vision or what they want to make, regardless if you agree or disagree with it.
Right. I wholeheartedly agree. They developed it. They wrote it. They can do whatever they want. I agree. And if you read the whole petition, it's hilarious. You can clearly tell it's satirical and they're joking. But at the same time, there are people out there that seem genuinely upset with the subject matter of the game, which we don't even care at all. To me, to all of us, to most people, it literally is just a video game. So whatever. Yeah. But it is funny to see the people that are both.
To me, is the killing Americans thing. Like that's never been in a game before. Did those same people get on GTA and just like drive on the sidewalks mowing down like 80 people at a time? So
exactly.
I've seen more of the the whole religious aspect of it that people are upset about. But I mean, like like I said initially, like, hey man, if you don't buy it. So
right.
I don't care if you agree with it or, restricting, putting regulations or restricting what people can make it negatively affects everybody. So, just allow everybody to make what they want to make and, choose with, tell them with your wallet if you like it or not.
Totally. Yeah, it's funny. I've heard other people make comparisons about the religious aspect of the game too, and they're like, has no one played Outlast 2 or BioShock Infinite with all these other religious undertones in them, and people are acting like this is the first one. I guess people do. I mean, Outlast 2 takes place in Arizona. That's the U.S. BioShock's up in the clouds, but still, it's a version of America in the sky. So people that are genuinely upset, it's kind of interesting to see that because it isn't like this is the first time.
Rapture technically is too.
Exactly. So,
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of games.
It's silly. But regardless, I'm still excited to see more of the game at E3. What do you think about all this, Jacob?
You guys nailed it.
Yeah.
I have no further thoughts.
Yeah,
it's clearly.
The more I hear about the gameplay, though, the less interested I am. Because every time I hear something, it's just like, oh, there's more Far Cry.
Exactly.
I'm kind of with you, Preston. I'm like not super stoked for this Far Cry. Like something. Yeah. Not like I have been in the past. Like when 4 was coming out, I was super excited to play that one. I don't know if it's just the fact that I haven't seen enough gameplay to really be excited, or if it's more of just looks okay.
Yeah. Now, if I go long periods of time without playing a Far Cry, I'm typically in the mood to play another one. Now, it may be different. I may start playing Far Cry 5 and be like, okay, I'm kind of bored with this, like 10 hours in. But every time I play a Far Cry, I just love the core gameplay so much. I don't know what it is. I just love the open world, and obviously we've still been speculating what it's going to be like as far as crafting and stuff is concerned in Montana, but just the crafting aspect of upgrading all your gear, taking out the outpost, playing your style, whether you want to go in guns blazing or stealthy.
It's going to be interesting how they do the whole crafting thing in this game.
Right,
It's going to be a thing,
Yeah, I can't wait to find out more about it, just because I genuinely am interested in how they're going to tackle this in an entirely different setting from the previous ones. But just going into a base and being stealthy is so much fun in Far Cry, and ever since I've seen Stealth Gamer, which is after I'd played 3 and 4, watching him be stealthy in Far Cry makes me strive to be that good as a stealth player in these games, which is amazing to see how well the stealth plays out in Far Cry. So that's one of my favorite aspects. It's one of my favorite stealth games that isn't truly a stealth game. So
you can do anything if you put your mind to it.
You really can,
You
Jacob.
could be Stealth Gamer too.
Yes, you're right. I'm going to run around with my dog companion and stealth kill some crazy lunatics in Montana. It's going to be a good time. Hopefully. We'll find out soon. But yeah, that brings us to our next story, gentlemen. Nintendo Switch's online services have been reiterated once again, and details have emerged. Everyone's talking about them. But for $20 a year, you can subscribe to their online service, which is pretty cool. $4 for a month and $8 for 3 months. Now, I'm going to talk about all the other little details that are included with this, but just the price point alone starting out, how do you guys feel about $20 a year?
Sounds solid.
Yeah, that's really good.
I think it's awesome. I'm very excited about that. I think that's totally fair, and we will talk about why. Let's talk about the most impressive aspect of all this online debacle with Nintendo. This is probably the coolest thing I've ever heard of. It's very innovative as well. Their new innovative smartphone app says, quote, our dedicated smart device app will connect to Nintendo Switch and let you invite your friends to play online, set play appointments, and chat with friends during online matches and compatible games, all from your smart device, the company says. A free limited version of the app will be available for download in summer 2017, end quote.
But Garrett, what if I'm a young lad and I don't have a smart device?
Well, Jacob, this is the smartest idea I've ever seen for communicating with friends online in video games. I don't know why everyone else hasn't done this already. So this is clearly why Nintendo continues to innovate and they succeed at it, because we need great ideas like this. How do you guys feel about this awesome idea?
This is so dumb. I was praying that they were going to take it back. Okay, having it on a smart device would be cool if it could also work alongside a system that was implemented in the Switch as well.
Right.
Which, because I'm trying to think.
Would that be redundant?
At first, I thought of like, oh, maybe they want it on the phone because this is like a to-go device. But then I was thinking, well, how are you going to play online anyways if you're on the go? Like, because if you're connected to the internet, then you can just do everything through the Switch. So that's that's the thing, is that doesn't even make sense. I don't know. I'm trying to come up with real weird reasons in my head as to why they would want to do this through the phone. And I don't, is it hardware restricted? Like, can they just not do it in the Switch? But I don't believe that for 1 second. I don't believe that for 1 second they can't do that.
I mean, maybe it doesn't have a built-in mic, or maybe they tried to save money at the price point and not include. I mean, I don't know how expensive it is to include something that can obviously receive your voice and everything, but maybe it's as simple as just plugging in a headset to it that transmits the audio and you can talk through to the headphone jack of it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, we're going to play on Switch. Let me get my phone out and plug in a headset to my phone so I can talk to you.
Right.
Like, that's just dumb.
Yeah, that's silly.
So weird.
I mean, it's better than nothing, but at the same time, in today's age, it's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you might as well just like use Discord or something.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, I was going to say.
I mean, you can't talk with like random people. Like if you're in a Splatoon match, like you can't talk to everybody else unless you're in the app. I don't know. It's probably not. I don't really care about it because I highly doubt I'll even ever use it. I'm probably not going to be doing an extensive amount of multiplayer gaming on the Switch. Especially like with games where I'll have to be talking to random people because I'm not going to be playing Splatoon or anything. In Mario Kart, I can just talk to you guys, through Discord or anything else. So it's not that big of a deal. It's just, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe it works out. Maybe it works out nicely and it's cooler than we think it is. Just initially, it just sounds kind of dumb to me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we'll find out soon with the free limited version of the app. I imagine we can possibly test it out over the summer to see what it's going to be like.
It's just, I mean, if I want to invite you to a match, I have to take my phone out. That's so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's stupid, but oh well. I mean, in brighter news, Nintendo says that Switch Online subscribers will have an ongoing access to the library of classic games with added online play. It also says users can play as many games as they want, as often as they'd like, as long as they have an active subscription. And right now, it's only going to be NES titles, but they are considering SNES titles as well. And I'm really holding out for that. That'd be awesome.
This is the reason why you pay for this service.
Right, totally. I mean, I think that's a great deal. $20 a year, you get the classic games as often as you want them. I don't know how often they're going to be coming out and how often we'll get new ones.
I'm glad they reversed that where, initially it was you get one per month and it switches out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's cool that they walked that back.
That is great.
So
yeah, I
they were
greatly
listening
appreciate
to
that.
the outcry.
Yeah, that's how they bounce back with the silly phone app. Is they come out with that news immediately after it. But their virtual console plans are apparently still undecided. They're definitely going to do it at some point, but they have not nailed down exactly when or how, is what I read. So also holding out for that. That's what I want most, for sure. But we'll see in time. Yeah. But you guys excited at least to have classic games and only $20 a year?
Not really. Honestly.
I missed a lot of those NES games.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's a nice added thing, but that's not the reason that I would stay subscribed to this, is just to play NES stuff. Like I have a lot of stuff to play, besides that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at least it's not $60 a year or anything though. I mean, $20 is totally affordable, and I think it's fair for what you get out of it. So
yeah, no,
I'm pretty excited.
I just really want GameCube Virtual Console really bad.
Yeah, so badly, dude. I have great memories with GameCube, and I'm holding out for that as well. Mostly Stardew Valley, man. I really want to play that. When is that coming? Do we know when that's coming? I keep forgetting.
I don't really care.
Soon. It was on the indie thing. I don't know. Maybe this summer.
Yeah, maybe we'll hear more at that Treehouse Live event at E3. Perhaps we'll find out.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Boys, that brings us to our next segment of the show, the News Nugs. These smaller stories that weren't necessarily discussion worthy, but worth mentioning nonetheless. First one comes from the Niantic executive himself, Matthew DeFay. I think it's Matthew DeFay. I think that's how you pronounce it. It says, quote, due to the large success of the game, we had to delay some planned innovations. Right now, we're working on some that are due to hit this summer in the Northern Hemisphere, such as giving more value to player teams, or choice of the player teams, releasing legendary Pokemon, and introducing PvP to Pokemon Go. How do you feel about that, Jacob?
Wow.
Are you excited for Pokemon Go PvP?
No.
No? I thought you were still playing a little bit.
No.
You dropped out completely?
Oh, yeah.
Because you played it much longer than Preston and I did.
Well, I played it like when it first came out in the summer into the fall. Then I stopped playing till they released the Gen 2 Pokemon.
Okay.
I played for a little bit and got sick of it again. I'm just not playing it again.
I think I would download Pokemon Go again to duel you or battle you once or twice just to see what it's like, and that's probably be it for me.
I'd pick it back up to catch legendary Pokemon.
Yeah, sure.
That'd be cool.
That'd be fun, I guess. Yeah. But you mentioned, I mean, I haven't read about it recently, but you mentioned that they still have a pretty massive active player base, don't they?
I don't know.
I mean, it's definitely not nearly as big as it was. I'll never forget that craze where everyone on the planet was playing it. Everywhere you went, people were playing it. It was fascinating.
I don't think they expected it.
No, absolutely not. So it is cool to see that they're still making updates to the game for those that are enjoying it. And everyone wanted PvP at the beginning, but it's cool to see that it actually is coming.
It seems to still be doing well. So.
Yeah. It's pretty cool for Pokemon fans. The next one is Middle-earth Shadow of War has officially been delayed from August 22nd of this year to October 10th. So that's not a massive delay, but...
This is good news.
Why is that?
Because we'll have the Uncharted, The Lost Legacy, we'll have that whole day, or that whole time now.
In August.
They were coming out on the same day originally.
Right, yeah. I think that might... I mean, I know they've mentioned in the article that, like, oh, we want to polish it some more, but I think that also might have something to do with it.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know.
I know it's coming to all consoles, but that
October.
might have something to do with it.
But also, I think Destiny came out like a week after that, or maybe 2 weeks. So, you know.
Yeah, so I'm wondering how it'll do after... I mean, obviously Destiny's coming.
Yeah. Well, it has a good month after Destiny. So.
Right. I know there's probably a lot coming in October, too. I haven't checked dates in a while, but, I mean, we'll find out more at E3, of course. Yeah. But, I mean, there's still speculation that may or may not be true that Days Gone may be coming out sometime around then. We don't know. I have no clue what to think, but we'll see. I'm going to play it for sure. I loved Shadow of Mordor. No, it was a Shadow of Mordor? Yeah, Shadow of Mordor. So, I'm excited for the sequel. What about you guys?
I am, too. It's going to be a good game, I think.
Mm-hmm. It definitely looks cool. I like all the changes they made to it.
It depends on what's coming out around it.
Right.
Yeah.
Same with me.
I'll play it eventually.
Like I always say, if I don't play it right out the gate, I will play it at some point because I like the first one enough to dabble in the second one for sure.
It might be a good, December game, winter break game.
Absolutely. Well, the next news nug involves a community question from Mr. Matthew Durkin. He says, hey, IOGs, or like we like to say, Jacob, EOGs. Hey, EOGs. Recently, I've been wanting to get a PS4. I've been a footstool supporter since the beginning, and I always felt exclusive titles have been bleh. There are many PS4 titles that I want to play. My question is, what bundle / mesh it, not mesh it, I can't speak to games today, I'm so tired, should I go about buying one? I'm worried that I don't have much time left in this console generation. I don't want to buy one and then the PS4 is relevant for only a few more years. Should I get a Slim, Pro, or regular one? Is Craigslist a recommended option? He didn't say option. I'm making up sentences now. I'm so tired. But Mr. Matthew Durkin, and to all who are considering purchasing a PS4 to play not only the great exclusives we have currently, but all the ones we have in our very near future, images and reports of a new 1 terabyte gold PS4 for $249 have been released and could potentially arrive as soon as June 9th. Now, this seemingly seems real based on a Target image and I think a Walmart image that are just blatant pictures of it in the system of their computers and an image of the box itself. And a controller image has been released on Best Buy's website. So this is probably true. Is it coming as soon as June 9th? I don't know. I'd like to think it is. But Jacob, how do you feel about your gold PS4 becoming a total piece of crap now?
Oh, it's a real bummer, man.
It is, man. Granted, they'll never have the Taco Bell gold PS4.
That's right.
So you were one of the, was it 4,000 people that got one?
I have no idea.
It was a very small
like
number.
2,000.
Yeah, it was a pretty small number, so that was pretty amazing when you won that. I'll never forget it.
You
won't be nearly as cool anymore, Jacob.
Right. The main reason why I was excited to win that PS4 was not because it was gold. It was more the fact because the PS4 that I currently had a problem with just turning off and not turning back on.
And then you gave it to my girlfriend.
Then I gave it to your girlfriend, and she doesn't even use it anymore.
Right. Yeah, and I gave my PlayStation to Zach, and he doesn't use it anymore. So we gave PlayStations to people that don't appreciate them. We could have given them to people in the community.
I know.
It sucks.
We could have.
We really goofed there. That's the last time I give away a console to someone who isn't going to play it.
That's very true.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned my lesson.
Yeah, you and me both.
But yeah, I guess it's cool. I don't know if I'd go out and buy a gold PS4.
No, the reason why I bring that up, though, is one, I just thought it was interesting, but two, for Matthew's sake, you'd might as well invest in this one. One, it's gold, just for aesthetic purposes. It's kind of cool, I guess. Yeah, terabyte hard drive, and $249 is quite affordable. And I'd say if you want to just buy the base PS4, it's a good starting point for sure.
Does the Slim model, is it only 500 gigs still?
I think. Is that correct, Preston?
I'm not sure. I actually would not recommend getting the gold.
Why is that?
Because there's better bundles out there that actually come with games.
Right, I mean, I agree. I'm just saying, if you're interested in having a fancy gold PS4, I was going to mention the gold PS4 regardless, but I bundled it into his question if he's interested.
Okay.
But yeah,
Well,
I agree with what you're saying. There are
for the
definitely
best
more
bundle
bundles
to go with. I would probably, I don't know if they still have it, but the Uncharted bundle is cool. You get the Slim with Uncharted 4, and then you could go pick up. I'm assuming he hasn't played any PlayStation exclusive since he's been playing Xbox this entire time, but if you can get a Slim PS4 for $250 with Uncharted 4, then you can go get the Uncharted collection for like $20, pick up The Last of Us 2, just essentially get every Naughty Dog game on PlayStation 4 and a PS4. You can get that all for under $300 easy.
Absolutely.
Which you definitely, if you're getting a PlayStation, you need to get those.
Were they doing a Horizon bundle? I don't know if they did.
I don't think they've done a Horizon bundle yet.
That'd be a great bundle, though, for sure.
There is a lot of speculation about Destiny 2 maybe having a PS Pro bundle or a Slim bundle, so that might be something to look out for as well.
For sure.
Yeah. I would not recommend getting a Pro right now for him. I don't know. I mean, he'd have to really he'd have to have a 4K TV and want to have the best experience, I guess. But even that is sometimes compromised. Like I said, Prey is apparently having issues that the regular PlayStation isn't having. I don't know. I think you get more bang for your buck and you play the exact same games with just the Slim bundle, and you'll save a little bit amount of money and get a game with it as well. So
absolutely. But if you're someone who likes aesthetic, pretty things, and you want to feel like you're royalty playing your PS4, the gold one will apparently be an option in the near future.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying, Preston. There's definitely better options out there if you don't care about the gold aspect, because I certainly wouldn't, but it does exist. Speaking of PlayStation, we have the PS Plus games for June. 2 of them I'm very excited for. The first one is Killing Floor 2. I got to say, it was mentioned to us on Discord or in the comments somewhere about possibly streaming it, and I'd heard the title, but I'd just never seen it in action, so I looked up a bunch of gameplay last night, and I got to say, I think it looks spectacular. I'm so pumped to play it, and I actually have a reminder on my phone to download it and the other one we're about to talk about, because I think it looks awesome. Killing Floor 2.
Oh, yeah, that game does look cool.
Yeah, I think we could have a lot of fun playing that and possibly streaming it. Even with community members, I think that'd be a lot of fun. We should definitely do it.
That was one of the games they were showing at the PS4 Pro release conference thing they had that takes advantage of it. Okay,
cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I'm very excited to play that one. After everything I watched last night, I think it looks great. The next one is Life is Strange Season 1, and I believe it's 5 episodes coming to PlayStation for free this month, and I can finally play Life is Strange. I've heard from multiple people that it's phenomenal, and I almost played it on Xbox when it came to Games for Gold several months ago, but never got around to it. So now I can officially play it on PlayStation. I'm definitely going to, because I enjoy a good story, and I hear Life is Strange tells an excellent one.
Yeah, I'm excited for that as well.
What about you, Jacob? How do you feel about either of those?
They're fine.
You should totally download at least Killing Floor 2 and play with us. I think it'd be fun.
I'm more interested in Life is Strange. I've always wanted to try that.
You gonna play it too then?
Probably, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited
probably
about
play that with Lizzie.
Mm-hmm. It's always good to play with either a buddy or just a significant other. Mm-hmm. I love story stuff like that. Just making decisions together is cool. Yeah. Do you make decisions in Life is Strange?
I think so.
Okay, because I haven't seen it. I've just read about it. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure you do.
Okay, cool. The next one, the last few I should say, I haven't even heard of, but the next one is Abyss Odyssey on PS3. You guys know what that is?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
WRC 5, which stands for Whales Rectum Critically 5. You guys know that?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's the 5th one in the series. It's my favorite whale series.
Yes.
World Rally Championship. That's actually what it stands for, apparently. It comes right after that. I didn't even read that part. World Rally Championship coming to PS3, number 5. I haven't played either of those, any of those either. Neon Chrome is coming to PS Vita. It's crossed by with PS4. You guys played Neon Chrome before?
Mm-mm.
No, I honestly forgot I had a Vita. Now that I haven't thought about Vita or anything in a while.
Yeah, ever since it got Switch, my Vita's just been sitting there. But
I'm
not opposed to playing
finished Persona 5. It's very. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go finish Persona 4 at some point now for sure.
Awesome.
So
yeah, I imagine when you travel again at some point, you'll have a great opportunity to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Lastly, Spy Chameleon is coming to PS Vita, which is also cross-buy on PS4. Spy Chameleon. Cool, dude.
Cool, man.
Speaking of Life is Strange, apparently the sequel may in fact be a prequel. Not much I can say about this other than I'm excited to play Season 1. And whether it's a sequel or prequel, the follow-up to Season 1, I'm sure I'll be excited after playing the first part of Life is Strange. So I can't say much other than that. It was just a little story that I thought was worthy of a news nug for you Life is Strange fans, which I imagine I'll be one myself in the coming weeks. But yeah, boys, that brings us to our main topic of the show, our E3 2017 hopes and predictions for all these press conferences, boys. We have all the schedules here, all the events, all the festivities. We're going to talk about our predictions for each individual one and what we hope to see more than anything else. We have some great community questions spliced in between as well. But Preston, are you excited for E3 this weekend?
Yes.
You and me both, my friend. I have a good feeling it's going to be a pretty awesome one this year.
Yeah. I do have a fear that for some reason I'm going to be out of town.
Really?
Not the weekend, but like the Monday maybe.
Okay. All right.
Which depresses me because this 8-week job I'm at right now, it's like, it's still going to be 8 weeks, but we're way ahead of schedule. So we might have to take some time off, which might mean I have to go out of town. But I'm hoping that's not the case at all. But regardless of that, I'm still pumped. I still don't think my brain acknowledges that it's only next week or this coming week. So
yeah,
that's super exciting.
Yeah, as busy as all three of us are these days, all these fun things happen so quickly, whether it's a game coming out or something like E3, it feels like it comes and goes so quickly these days, which is exciting. But I'm also hyped. Cannot wait to see what all is going to be. I mean, literally every conference is at least one thing I'm excited to see or hope to see at each of them. So what about you, Jacob? Are you very excited as well?
Oh, yeah. I'm super excited. I'm taking a day off just to watch on Monday. So
awesome.
Super excited.
This is more exciting for me than Christmas is.
No, I totally agree. I know that
Christmas,
sounds crazy.
I know what to expect and I know what's coming, but anything can happen next week. Anything.
No, you're right. Yeah, my favorite E3, which I'm going to save it for the community question. There's our favorite E3 memories I'll talk about later, but I'm excited to discuss that. But I agree. Something about E3 is just so magical. And I love Christmas time. I love the season. I love the time of year. I love being with my family and giving each other gifts, giving and receiving gifts. But something about E3, man, like you said, the unexpected aspect of it is always thrilling. And whether it's disappointing or exciting, it's always fun to get excited about it every year. That being said, boys, let's just jump in and give our predictions for each individual press conference we're going to see, starting on Saturday, June 10th at 12 p.m. Pacific time. It's EA's little, I don't know what they call it these days, EA Play still? Is it just their press conferences? I can't remember the title of it. They called it EA Play last year.
Yeah, I think it's EA Play still.
There's probably a good chance that I will not be with you guys on this one.
Okay, I guess all three of us.
I'll be driving a truck.
Yeah, all three of us will be coming and going from our live streams we're going to be doing over the period of the conferences because they're so spread out now. But speaking of EA, just right out the gate, I have some obvious ones written down, but just off the top of your heads, what do you guys think we're for sure going to see at EA this year?
Obviously, all the sports games, which
Battlefront.
is so exciting.
Right. Yeah, Madden, FIFA, of course.
Yeah. Obviously, Battlefront.
Yeah, Battlefront 2. I'm hoping now Battlefront 2 we have to see some gameplay for Battlefront 2. We have to.
Yeah, we'll see a campaign mission, I think.
I think you're right. We'll definitely. That's a great point because we already know what to expect with multiplayer unless they want to show off some of that as well.
They'll probably show both.
They will. They'll show. They'll have some. They might have like the celebrities, Snoop Dogg back this year playing some Battlefront multiplayer.
Exactly.
They'll probably have the chick that plays the main character in the story.
Potentially, yeah.
So they always have some guest up there. You know what EA does.
Right. Speaking of Battlefront, Battlefield 1 has been super successful. So do you think we may see a big DLC announcement or expansion for Battlefield just advertised at EA Play?
Probably. They'll at least go up there and just talk about how successful it was.
Right. They always love to do that. Battlefield sold this many copies. It's killing it online and everything.
They talk about Xbox, whatever their EA Access. They'll say something about that.
Yeah,
probably.
Definitely. They'll talk about new titles coming and maybe new features or something.
What else does EA make?
A few things. I'd
EA makes nothing. They're the publisher.
Right, yeah, they're the publisher, but...
What do they talk about? Mass Effect, I guess?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if they'll mention Mass Effect, but I will
Are
say...
they going to have a giant apology for Mass
Right,
Effect?
yeah, exactly. The whole BioWare team's going to come out onto the stage and apologize individually about Mass Effect Andromeda. But speaking of BioWare, I will say that one of my biggest hopes is that we get some sort of a tease to their brand new IP they've been talking about.
There's been speculation that it's supposed to be a direct competitor to a game like Destiny.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have anything to back that up. It's just what I've heard from a couple different people.
Okay. I don't know if I'm ballsy enough to call it a prediction, but one of my biggest hopes is to definitely hope at some way, shape, or form see a slight tease, whether it be a logo or a small teaser trailer for whatever they're working on next, because I'm genuinely interested, because we talked about BioWare's team on Andromeda was essentially their B team, and their main team has been working on some new IP. Is that correct, Preston?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's all kind of up in the air, but there's just been rumors floating around about what's going on.
I mean, I'm sure that's a Google search away, but that's what I'm pretty sure. But I heard somebody make a point. I forgot which other podcast it was, but that BioWare name doesn't hold as much like bang to it as it used to.
Not. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of just like, back when the first Mass Effect and like they were Knights of the Old Republic days and stuff. It's like BioWare's name, or I think they did Baldur's Gate as well. Yeah, they did do Baldur's Gate. Just, that the name was held with like such praise. But now it's like when I hear BioWare's doing a new IP, it's just kind of like, yeah, cool. Like, I'm sure it'll be cool. I'm just not like, as pumped as I should be knowing that BioWare is doing a new IP,
Right. It kind of seems they took the I wouldn't call it a plunge necessarily, but they started to head downhill with the ending of Mass Effect 3, and everything post Mass Effect 3 has been just... Some of it has been pretty good, but for the most part, it's just kind of like, meh, whatever.
Yeah, I forgot when Dragon Age 2 came out, but they kind of started getting a little bit of negativity with that game, just kind of how it was, rushed out a little bit. There wasn't as much content as Origins had. Right. And then Mass Effect 3 ending, didn't forebode well for them. And then even though Dragon Age Inquisition won Game of the Year from several media sources that year, it kind of left a weird taste in my mouth, and I think for you guys as well. And I don't know, I don't hear anybody talk about it anymore, and if they do, it's not very positively. And then Mass Effect coming out after that and all the crap going with it, so they haven't really been knocking it out of the park with the last couple of releases. So I don't know. I won't for them. I hope, hopefully this new IP does come out and kicks ass and, they regain their former glory. But, because of all those, missed hits and stuff, I'm not as excited for this as I probably should be.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I'm just hoping that whatever it is, if we see anything, it does get people excited. That's the thing, though. We were all thrilled for Andromeda, and we saw how that turned out. So, and I don't want to knock it too much because I know they've been making great efforts to improve the experience for everyone. And I've heard from many people that the game genuinely is a pretty good game, despite all the issues it had.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, I'm sure it's even better than a pretty good game. It's just when you put Mass Effect on the front of the box, you're not looking for a pretty good game. You're looking for a phenomenal experience.
Right.
That name has a ton of power behind it. I mean, Mass Effect 2 is regarded as, like with Game Informer putting out their top 100 RPGs of all time. That was like that was in the top 5. That's, that's regarded as in a lot of people's eyes as, one of the greatest RPGs / games ever made.
Right.
Like that's a very, and Mass Effect 3 was phenomenal in my opinion as well, regardless of the ending. So that's just a powerhouse franchise. So people don't expect anything less than phenomenal when they buy a new Mass Effect game.
Absolutely.
So even if it is still pretty good, that's really good. That's still not good enough for Mass Effect.
Mm-hmm. It's a shame. Hopefully they bounce back at some point.
Yeah.
Well,
you think they'll even be doing DLC?
I don't know.
I don't even know if there's a season pass for this game.
Right. I have no clue. I guess it really depends on how it's been selling. I'm sure it's sold well initially. Not exponentially well, but people enjoyed Mass Effect. Even us, we knew it was going to be rough going into it, especially after playing that hour demo or whatever it was prior to the game's release. But
I still think at some point I'm going to get to it.
Right. I think the same. I don't know when that will be, but I'd like to go back and play.
I did
enjoy what I played.
Yeah. I mean, I did too. If I don't get to it this summer, though, I really don't know when I will.
Right, that's my fear, because I also have to play Persona, and if I'm going to play anything in my free time, it's probably going to be Persona any day over Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah,
so
yeah, absolutely.
we'll see.
Yeah.
I
don't know how long Prey is going to take me, so if Prey goes by faster than I expect and I'm looking for something to play, I think Mass Effect's probably the next thing on my list. So
Man, Prey, Farpoint, and Mass Effect, that's a lot of space.
That is a lot of space. You're right. But besides, BioWare's new game, what do you think we're going to be seeing from Star Wars? Do you think we're going to be seeing Amy Hennig's new game? Anything from Respawn?
Yeah, I was going to say my biggest hopes are obviously more Star Wars titles. If I had to choose between either seeing Respawn or Viscerals, I'd go with Viscerals any day because I'm much more interested in what Amy Hennig's doing. Mm-hmm. But Respawn, I mean, they're both working on third-person action-adventure games, but I imagine one will be more narrative-driven. I get the feeling that Respawn's will be more action-based, I guess, because just based on what I see, it seemed like they were messing with motion-captured lightsabers. Mm-hmm. So hopefully there would be some sort of lightsaber aspect to Respawn's game, but maybe we'll see a bit of both. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I definitely, over everything else, want to see what they have to have in store for Star Wars from both studios.
I mean, sure. I think it is due time for sure to see Amy Hennig's. I mean, we saw that 10-second teaser footage thing of that one guy walking out and Tatooine, but that's all we've seen. So yeah, I think it's definitely due time. Respawn, I don't know. I think that'd be a really good surprise because I really am excited for that game because if there's one thing that those guys nail is gameplay.
Right.
Titanfall 2 plays phenomenally well. So I'm just excited to see what that team does with the Star Wars license in a third person, action way.
Absolutely.
So, I'm not putting, I wouldn't put all my eggs in that basket because I think that's probably a little bit unlikely to see that. I hope I'm wrong, but I definitely would bet on seeing Amy Hennig's game.
Certainly.
I think that's probably all we'd see from Star Wars, that and Battlefront.
Yeah, for sure.
Unless they now, I think realistically, everything we said is probably the most realistic things that could happen. If you could have a pie in the sky, like this will never happen, but this would be my dream come true from an EA conference, what would it be?
I mean, ultimately, it's just seeing, even if it's short, a demo from Visceral Star Wars game. If I had to ask for one thing that I had to see, that would be it for sure.
I'm talking you don't think it's going to happen, but it would make your dreams come true.
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't really expect much from EA other than those things. So
same here.
I would like to see them try Mirror's Edge again.
Okay, because I heard Mirror's Edge 2 did not live up to the hype at all.
No, it was. I enjoyed it to an extent. I think I liked a little bit of the linearity from the first one better than this one. I don't think this one needed to really be an open worldy game, but I still like the gameplay of that game. The parkour is just really fun, and I like the aesthetic of the city in that game, with the super techie and clean looking, but then they'll add that red in to kind of guide you where you're supposed to go. I think it just aesthetically looks cool and it plays fun. So I highly doubt we'll ever see Mirror's Edge again based on what Catalyst was, but I would still like to see them give it another try, but that's probably highly unlikely that would ever happen.
Well, I was talking about FIFA earlier. You know how they introduced I can't remember what they called it, but there's a story mode in FIFA last year where you could play as that guy who goes pro and plays for different teams or whatever. Mm-hmm. But do you think they may incorporate something like that into Madden? I wouldn't say it's necessary in Madden, but then again, it wasn't technically necessary in FIFA. But because, for example, the 2K basketball games have a story mode. FIFA has a story mode. Do you think Madden will take that route going forward?
Probably at some point.
I think for football fans, that could be really cool. Now, I know most football fans, especially Madden fans, like creating their own custom character and just going for it in whatever it's called, season mode or career mode or whatever it's called.
Road to Glory.
Road to Glory, whatever it's called. I used to like doing that as well for fun when I actually played sports games regularly when I was in middle school. But I think it'd be kind of cool to see them incorporate a narrative-driven mode in Madden in addition to their other sports games. I think it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I don't think
that's one prediction I have. They may incorporate that into the next Madden.
Yeah.
Just to switch things up.
I agree.
Yeah. I guess that those are all of our hopes and predictions for EA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to Microsoft.
My least, probably the, you know what I'm trying to, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Least excited for.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, actually, I'm most excited for the PC gaming show. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's not a knock against PC players, but we always joke about that conference. Moving on to Microsoft, the following day on Sunday, June 11th at 2 p.m. Pacific time. What are our predictions for Microsoft, boys?
I have a very bold one to start out.
Let's hear
There's
it,
going to
Jacob.
be 3 brand new IPs from Microsoft.
3.
2 of them are going to be their own IPs. One's going to be a third-party exclusive.
Who's doing it?
I don't know yet. That's just a feeling that I have.
Okay.
Let's just wait and see if it's going to happen.
3. Why 3?
Naughty Dog's doing it.
Yeah. Naughty Dog has switched to Xbox.
I just have they've been so quiet. They have to be doing something.
Right.
You know? Like, they can't just be sitting there waiting for things hoping to turn around, you know? Like, they got to have something brewing in that crock pot.
I think you're right, Jacob. We all know we're going to see plenty of Scorpio, presumably. Yeah. But in order to sell that,
they'll open up the show with that.
The Scorpio show. That's what this can be called. Yeah.
So, presumably, in order to sell this thing, it'd be one thing to be, in which they already mentioned there's not going to be much Halo at this conference, but it's one thing to bring it out and be a badass console, sure. But in order to sell it, you can't just sell it off of your older IPs that, of course, are popular. Mm-hmm. But I think you're right. If they had some brand new ones to be like, this is why these new IPs are going to take advantage of the Scorpio. Of course, yes, you can play it on Xbox One and Xbox One.
None of them are going to come out this year, though. So I don't know what they have coming out for Scorpio.
That's what they need to do with the Scorpio. They need to make me feel like a piece of shit for not having a Scorpio.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not going to be able to experience these games as well as you possibly could, unless you have Scorpio. This is why you have to have it.
Because not being the biggest Xbox fan and seeing if they're they have to be having these new exclusive first party games coming, I still will have in the back of my head, well, I have an Xbox One, so I still don't need the Scorpio. So they really have to sell me that I'm going to be playing the shit version of these games on Xbox One to get me to get the Scorpio. But then again, do they want to alienate the audience that just bought the 1S and that is still enjoying their 1S and doesn't want to move up? So they have to dance on that fine line that PlayStation Pro was trying to dance on too, saying like, I don't know if they're even going to try and copy what Sony did, trying to appease both sides, or if they're just going to be like, you know what, we're going to be frank and honest with you. This game is going to be 1 billion times better on Scorpio, and yeah, you can play it on the one, but you're having a shitty experience on here.
Yeah, it is. That is a challenge, like you mentioned, finding a happy medium for sure. So we'll see, but I want them. That's the thing. I don't want anyone to mistake us for, I know we make jokes about the footstool console all the time, but we want Scorpio and just Xbox to impress us for sure. The only reason we don't play a whole lot of Xbox is because of their lack of exclusives. It really has nothing to do with the console or the company at all. But I'm hoping when they reveal Scorpio, one, I hope it's as badass as everyone's assuming it will be. And I also hope they have exclusives that sell me on it, that make me beg my parents to help me afford a Scorpio later this year if it still comes out this year. So we'll see how it goes. And the price point will be interesting to see, is everything that's rumored and confirmed to be
what's
patented
your rumored
in this machine.
Price? What's that?
Probably $600.
600? You think it's going to be that much?
I think they're going to find a way to make it affordable, but at the same time a little expensive.
I'm going to say 500.
Okay, because I want to say 500, but at the same time, like, that'll be a miracle if it's 500.
I mean, I see a lot of pro Xbox Twitter dudes and stuff that I follow that they are confident, like 100%, that it's going to be $399.
Holy crap, that would be insane.
I could see something like that at the base model, but I think there's going to be some kind of upgrade system that you can buy parts for it.
No,
that'd be really interesting.
Do that. Phil Spencer said that they weren't doing that.
Okay.
Oh.
If that were the case, that would change everything going forward.
Well, then if that's the case, it's probably going to be 500.
I guess we'll see. Time will tell later this weekend. I'm excited. But as far as games are concerned, what do you guys think we're going to see? If we see, I mean, of course we'll see games. They got to talk about games that are going to be on the Scorpio.
We'll see Crackdown, Sea of Thieves. I think those are a given. State of Decay 2.
Maybe we'll get a Cuphead release date.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe we'll finally get a Cuphead release date.
Dude, they have to just drop it. They have to shadow drop that. They can't delay that any longer. I keep forgetting that game exists because they keep just stringing it out. They just need to release it that day. That's as much buzz as it'll get.
Yeah, seriously. I feel like all the hype has died down for it. As
Yeah.
beautiful as it looks, everyone's kind of... I mean, that's the thing. They may have heard all the feedback about their single player or whatever it's called, a single player or co-op or something. Those levels you could play that look just very basic and not a whole lot going on.
The game initially was just a boss rush game. You're just fighting bosses, and then people were like, "Oh, you should probably add a single player platforming."
And it looks like they just threw it in there. Now, this isn't a knock against them because the animation, like we've mentioned, looks gorgeous. But it looks like, as far as gameplay is concerned, there wasn't much going on other than just shooting stuff and jumping over. There didn't really seem to be any structure to it.
Yeah, I mean, it just had the levels were just not accepted positively, so they probably hit the drawing board again.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So I don't know. In my opinion, they just need to they don't need to announce anything else unless they have a concrete release date that is relatively soon or the day of. So
right.
That's just my opinion.
I think we may see a Gears 4 DLC or expansion, something like that announced as well, just to
I know they
continue
said
the
that
hype for
there's
Gears.
the biggest update coming soon for it. I don't know if that's coming out this week or next week, or if they're just waiting to go into more detail about it during E3 or something. I'm not sure they'll mention it.
Yeah,
But,
I imagine we'll hear something about Gears, even if it's a small, like, oh yeah, this cool expansion coming.
All right. What a new Fable, Garrett.
Yeah, I wish, dude. That's something. That's one of my biggest hopes for sure.
I think that's highly likely. I think
You
a
think
new
so?
Fable. Yeah.
That'd be awesome to be like on Scorpio. Fable's going to look more beautiful than ever, and the worlds are going to be massive and show all this innovation in a possible new Fable game that could be coming to Scorpio down the line. I don't know. That'd be cool.
I think it'd be
That'd
awesome.
be awesome. I would crap my pants if we saw a new Fable release because I adore Fable 1 and 2. 3 was just on the cusp of being okay for me. It was a massive disappointment in comparison to 2. But I have high hopes for the rebirth of the Fable franchise.
Yeah. That's my big pie in the sky hope, but I also think that's very what's the word I'm looking for? That's very possible.
Unlikely?
Possible. Okay. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. I think that very much could happen, like, easily.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be just a great exclusive for them to have, just like a massive, fantasy RPG that is an exclusive.
Totally. Yeah.
So.
Well, 343 has stated and confirmed there are no plans, or at least at E3, for a Halo 3 remaster, which isn't a big deal because I think Halo 3 to this day still looks awesome and runs very well in the Master Chief Collection. So it's unnecessary. I would have loved one, sure. But we're not going to get a Halo 3 remaster, but they have mentioned that Halo will have a small presence at the press conference. Now, that's
like
either
some DLC or something.
Yeah, they're either downplaying the fact that they may have something really cool to announce about Halo going forward, or maybe it literally is just a small announcement. I don't know. Like you mentioned, because they've been updating Halo 5 continuously since the game launched, and they've been doing great updates. Whenever I go back to Halo, there's just new experiences I have every time, and I continue to read about all the innovations they brought to the game, which is really awesome because I think the online play in Halo 5 is excellent. I love it. I don't play it as often as I would like to, but every time I play it, I think it's cool. So maybe it'll be more DLC. I don't know. But I did have an interesting conversation with a gentleman in our comments recently on an older episode about the possibility of maybe we'll finally get a Halo Reach remaster. I know people have been asking that for a long time, and that's a long stretch because I really don't know if Reach... I mean, it seems like online a lot of people praise Reach, but at the same time, I know a lot of people who weren't nearly as impressed with Reach as they were with Halo 3. So Reach was cool to me, don't get me wrong. I thought the story mode was cool, but the online was just whatever.
When Reach was released, I remember people just complaining the entire time.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I didn't hate Reach by any means. I just loved Halo 3 so much that Reach. And again, I thought the story was awesome. I loved the campaign. But the multiplayer wasn't that special to me. So when they brought in all those armor abilities and jetpacks and everything, which I could totally do without in Halo, I just prefer
Do you think there's
the old boots on the ground.
Do you think there's a better opportunity of them? I don't think they're going to do a remaster of a game that's not that old. Like it was just on last generation.
Yeah.
I think there's a better chance of them adding it to the Master Chief Collection, kind of like they did with ODST.
Exactly. I was thinking it'd be just a big update to Master Chief Collection, including that. Because I remember people when that game was announced, or that collection was announced, people were begging, like, where's Reach? Why aren't you doing Reach? Which it didn't matter to me, because, like, as I mentioned, it was the quote-unquote Master Chief Collection, so obviously Reach isn't going to be in there.
Yeah.
But I also don't need a Reach remaster, but I wouldn't say that's entirely out of the question, and it may or may not happen, because people have been asking for so long. But I haven't heard that circulating at all recently, but back in the day when Master Chief Collection came out, a lot of people were talking about it. So I don't know. But yeah, Crackdown 3, I think, looks cool. I like the destruction I saw in a tech demo of the game a year or two ago. So I'm interested to see more of that. I've played the demo of Crackdown 1, and that was it, I think. I haven't played any of Crackdown 2.
So you didn't get the first Crackdown to play the Halo 3 beta, did you?
No, so you remember I wanted to,
Yeah.
because I told the guy at GameStop, like, I told my mom, I was like, I want to play Halo 3's beta. When we went to GameStop, this is when I was still much younger. I was 8th grade, I think, going into freshman year of high school. And the back of Crackdown had all, rated M for this, and this. And my mom was like, I don't know about this, Garrett. I don't want you to play this game. I was like, but Mom, I don't even want to play this game. I just want to play Halo. And then, of course, the guy working at the desk was like, well, dude, just to let you know, the beta's having all kinds of connection problems, so you probably wouldn't be able to play much anyway. And my mom took that as like a definitive, yeah, we're not getting Crackdown at all. So I never got to play the beta, but I watched a crap ton of gameplay going into Halo 3. I was obsessed with watching beta gameplay, so it was disappointing. So I have not played Crackdown, no. Did you play either of them all the way through?
No, I played the demo of the first one, and I thought it was cool. I think it was also a free games with gold at some point that I dabbled in as well, and it was fine.
Sea of Thieves, I think it looks cool for sure. I guess I'll just have to see more of it. I'm not necessarily interested in playing it, but I am very intrigued by the idea and to see how it's coming along, I guess.
Yeah, so. That's a cool game that I would never get.
Yeah. It's kind of like Minecraft, because I think Minecraft is fascinating and there are things I love about it, but at the same time, I'm like, ultimately, what am I accomplishing right now?
Yeah, so. I mean, I'm sure Sea of Thieves actually has a purpose and a goal. Find
the booty!
Yeah, like, I'm sure there's actual goals, unlike Minecraft, so I don't know if that's the best, but I don't know. It just doesn't call out to me. For some reason, it's probably just because I hate Xbox so much that it doesn't. But
dude.
No. But regardless of what any of that is, it just doesn't really. Yeah, it just seems like it get old kind of quick. But I don't know. I could be completely wrong. I don't know a ton about it. I've only seen a tiny bit of it, but I do agree with you though. Just the what it actually is, man, I'm sorry, the medicine I'm on is making me super dizzy. I can't think about what I'm actually trying to say.
No, you're not alone, Preston. I'm so exhausted I can't even describe it. I can hardly speak today. Yeah,
the whole what the game's based on and communicating and stuff, it sounds cool, but I just feel like I don't like relying on other people. I just kind of like playing things by myself. So maybe I don't know, maybe there's a cool single player thing that I don't have to talk to other people that make me more interested in it. But
Don't get me wrong, is I know I keep making this reference all the time, but Assassin's Creed 4 ship battles were so exciting. If I can do that with a couple of friends online and Sea of Thieves, I think that'd be a fun experience.
Yeah, no, I agree.
See, if you're searching for treasure and another pirate clan is searching for that same treasure and you have a ship battle and kill each other with swords and then go get your treasure. I don't know what you do with the treasure afterwards. Perhaps get drunk on grog. We'll see. Sing some sea shanties, perhaps.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll find out. I'm excited to see more of it. But any hopes from you, gentlemen, as far as if there's one thing from Microsoft's conference you'd love to see, what would it be? Me personally, like Jacob mentioned, I'd love to see just brand new IPs, honestly.
Yeah, that's mine.
So at least one. That'd be cool.
I mean, I would just say my big thing's Fable. I want to see new Fable.
Mm-hmm. You and me both, my friend. Absolutely.
Yeah. Sell me on
anything
this
Halo
new
related. I get
Fable
excited for,
and tell me all the Scorpio can do with it. Then you have my attention.
Certainly. Now is Scorpio still the confirmed name, or do you think it's gonna be something else? Because I was gonna say it's got to be something else for sure. But it'd be funny if they kept it a Scorpio. But
I mean, I think Scorpio sounds cool. But no, that's just the code name. I heard somebody say through a leak that it's the Xbox One X.
Oh my gosh, they got to drop the Xbox One stuff. They need to rename it entirely.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, do you that's what we have to find out is how they initially said that you can play every game that's on Scorpio, you can play on Xbox One. So I feel like for the average consumer to not confuse them, I feel like you do have to have the Xbox One name. Because, I mean, imagine if you have the PS, if they dropped the 4 and this is the PlayStation Pro, and then, the mom is in there. Well, can this play both? I feel like they have to have one in there to kind of, make it easy for people to understand that this is just a mid-generation, console.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, from a marketing standpoint, it makes no sense because the name I would love would just be call it the Xbox. I think that sounds so badass. But from a marketing standpoint, like we've mentioned, people will be so confused. I mean, people are already confused about the Xbox One debacle and even the PlayStation 4 Pro and stuff. I imagine people get confused. But why don't they just call it the Xbox One Pro?
Or they could call it the Xbox. Wait, I forgot what I was going to say.
The footstool.
Yeah, the footstool.
What if they called it the One Elite?
The Xbox One Elite?
Yeah.
Kind of like the previous generation, the Xbox 360 Elite.
Yeah. I mean,
I'll have the new
Elite
the
seems
Xbox.
to be like their premier version of everything, like the Elite controller, you know?
The new Xbox One.
Yeah.
When is the Xbox coming
One
out?
Go fuck yourself, PlayStation. That's what they're going to call it.
Yeah.
They're very passionate over there at Xbox. I hope it succeeds, honestly, despite the name, because I do have great memories with my Xbox playing multiple games, especially Fable and Halo and Gears of War. And those are their 2 or 3 big ones, but
yeah,
we'll see.
All right.
Any other name suggestions in the comments below for the new Xbox would be great. But speaking of Xbox, before we move on, something I got to mention. We have 2 community questions from some OGs in the community here regarding Microsoft's conference. The first one comes from Matt G. He says, for the E3 prediction show, what do you think Microsoft does about the lack of truly notable IPs that aren't Halo or Gears of War? Do they reach into the past and reboot old IPs? Or do you think we see a slew of new IPs? And Jacob thinks we're going to see 3 new ones. But regarding old ones like Fable, that's what we'd love to see. What are some older Microsoft exclusives we'd love to see reborn that I can't really think of any?
Blinks the Cat Reborn.
Is that one of them?
Yeah, this is old Xbox.
Because I can't remember anything significant other than Halo and Gears myself. Because I didn't play it. I mean, I played a little bit of original Xbox. It was at friends' houses. Of course, I played Halo 1 and 2. But other than that, I can't really think of anything. We'll, of course, see a new Forza as well. We always see a new Forza.
Yeah.
Will it be Forza 5 this time?
No,
6?
7.
7. Okay, I'm way behind in my Forzas. I keep getting them confused with all the
5
Horizons.
was the first one that came out on Xbox.
So Horizon 2 was the previous one, right?
3.
Was it 3 already?
Yes.
Holy crap, man. I'm so behind. I mean, I don't play them. I'm so behind
You sure
on
you
Forza.
cover video games?
Yeah, but I don't care about Forza at all, but
You think
so
we're
they're
going to
going-
see a like the Shadow of the Tomb Raider?
that's not entirely out of the question, I don't think. I mean,
I
how long has it been?
highly
Has it been
doubt it's gonna be an
almost 2 years
exclusive.
since
But
Rise of the Tomb Raider came out?
yeah, I mean, it's not going to
Okay.
be an exclusive probably, but I could see
No.
Microsoft kind of like, you know, pushing it as like, you know, it's their game, but not really.
Right. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good prediction. I think we might see that.
I know that's not an
I'd
old
love
IP.
to see it.
That's not the question at all, but that just pooped in my
Right.
head.
That would be cool.
But no, my biggest one as far as that question is Fable. That's honestly the only one I could think of right now. I'm trying to think of old Xbox IPs, but besides other classic ones, I just can't think of any.
Right. I mean, I think this next one, I think we've already kind of answered through our discussion, but Rupert says, for the E3 prediction show, I have 2 questions. 1, is there anything Microsoft can show that would make you dust off your microwaves? I mean, Xbox Ones?
Fable again.
Yep. Fable for me, too. And anything Halo related.
Anything
Yeah.
new?
Halo
That's
2.
looks promising.
For sure.
I still got to play Gears. Still got to play that.
Yeah, that's worth playing, I will say. I really enjoyed the campaign. I dabbled in multiplayer for about 5 seconds, and as usual, it's a shotgun fest, which is not that exciting.
I
to
might
me.
knock that out this summer. Might just a couple of days, just, you know, play through Gears 4 single player.
Yeah, it's a fun one. You can get through it real quickly, too. So, and all the new characters are a lot of fun as well. I liked them a lot. And how they interact with previous characters is awesome.
Nice.
So, yeah. Satisfying conclusion, too. Very interesting to see where they go with it next, I will say.
Cool.
Boys, let's move on to Bethesda, happening the same day, Sunday, June 11th, but at 9 p.m. Pacific time. That's midnight our time, isn't it? Yeah. So that's going to be a late stream.
Midnight when?
On Sunday,
Oh.
June 11th.
Ouchie.
Yeah, that's super
Really?
late. Yep.
Dude.
That's brutal. Well, oh well.
Yeah.
I'll be streaming that night, I guess. Even if I have class the next day, oh well.
Dang. If I have work the next day, Monday, which typically I don't work this Monday. We've been taking Mondays off.
Yeah.
But if I have to work the next Monday, I might as well just sleep all day, wake up for that, and then just once the conference is over, I'll have to drive to work at 3 a.m.
Right, that's not a bad idea.
So, yeah, I'll figure out a way to do it. If there's any press conference that I'm going to miss, it's not Bethesda. So
Absolutely. It's one of the ones I'm most anticipating for sure, as always. So what are your predictions, boys? I have some pretty bold ones myself, but I want to hear from you guys
They
first.
are going to walk out on stage and unveil the new Wolfenstein game.
Okay.
Wolfenstein game. That's going to be their opener.
Okay.
After that, I have no clue. I'm sure the Evil Within 2 is going to be in there at some point.
Absolutely.
I'm sure they'll talk about Fallout 4 VR because apparently that's pretty close to being done. Then, oh man, that's the thing is like all their Arcane just released Prey and Dishonored not too long ago.
Right.
id Software is working on Quake right now.
I'll probably hear something about Quake.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll show the progress because I'm sure that's coming. The actual release date for that is pretty soon. So they'll do Quake stuff. I highly doubt Bethesda Game Studios has anything to say besides Fallout 4 VR. I hope to God I am wrong and we can see something about... I know they're working on 3 giant projects right now. That would be absolutely insane if we could see something they're working on. That'd be so awesome. What if they have sourced out a new Fallout to another developer and we're getting like another New Vegas type of Fallout game made by somebody else, maybe Obsidian?
I would love that.
Take the reins. They're not doing that. They're working on something else right now. A sequel to one of their own IPs, Pillars of Eternity. I think they're working on the second one or something like that. I could be wrong, but I know they are for sure. They're working on something right now, so I don't think they have enough time to do a Fallout game. But I'd like to see somebody else with the Fallout, with Fallout 4, in the past, them kind of take those mechanics and elaborate on them.
Totally.
What if they were to do something like that for Elder Scrolls? I know they've never done it before, but could you see a scenario where they would do that with that franchise?
I mean, no. That seems to be like that's Bethesda's baby. I mean, Fallout, they didn't... Their first Fallout was 3. And I'm pretty sure Obsidian did it in the past. I think so. So I don't think that was too crazy for Obsidian to work on Fallout, but Bethesda has been with the Elder Scrolls since the beginning. I don't know, but they let somebody else do Elder Scrolls Online, so that kind of pokes a hole in my logic. So I guess it's possible.
I'd be totally open to that, honestly. I think it'd be pretty cool to experience something like that. Because I never played it only because you told me it was underwhelming compared to Fallout 3, but I never played through New Vegas. I've seen plenty of gameplay, just never played it myself, but I am open to seeing another studio tackle an Elder Scrolls. I think it'd be interesting.
The first 2 Fallout games were made by Interplay's RPG division named Black Isle Studios.
Okay, gotcha.
Right, but I think you're absolutely correct, Preston. I think they will for sure, if not open, which I think would be a great opener, Wolfenstein. But if not the opener, it will for sure be there. I think Evil Within 2 is a guarantee.
You think it's a guarantee?
Yeah, I think so for sure. Because I know rumors about that have been circulating for a while now. So I think we'll at least see a trailer. New Vegas
was the first and only Fallout game Obsidian did. My bad. But yeah, I think Evil Within 2 is a definitely pretty obvious.
Now, you mentioned Fallout 4 VR, which I definitely want to see, but remember they announced Bethesda VR just in general going forward. Didn't they mention Doom's going to have some sort of VR component?
It was playable, I'm pretty sure, in VR at E3. I don't know if they've said anything about that being released. The only thing I've heard of in terms of like coming out is Fallout 4 VR, but potentially.
Dude, you'd have to have an extremely dumbed down version, but imagine playing Doom like you play Farpoint with a gun.
That's too fast.
Yeah, and I was going to say, I don't know how the VR would handle it.
I'd be throwing up everywhere.
You would say it'd have to be like a really dumbed down version, but that'd be kind of fun. But speaking of Doom, I know id Software is solely focused on Quake, but I think it'd be cool if they teased a sequel for Doom. I know it might be a little early, but it's been 2 years since Doom released, right? Was it 2016 released, or was it 2015? I can't remember. It was the same month as
Last
Overwatch.
year.
Yeah, it's only been a year, so now it's too early. But I can't wait down the line to find out about a sequel to Doom, because obviously it was so successful and so beloved that they'll no doubt do a sequel to it. But Quake, as I mentioned, I actually just for fun received a closed beta code for Quake, but I can't play it on anything. I just wanted the satisfaction of having a code. So I have a code I can't do anything
So
with.
you took someone's code.
I did. If anyone's on PC and you don't already have a Quake code, I guess I could send it to you. Just let me know. But I'm sad I can't play it, but I'm excited to see more of that at E3. Even though I've been watching
I'm looking up
gameplay
Doom
videos
VR
online.
right now, and apparently it works really, really well. They solved the traversal problem. Something about how you can like slow down time or by like holding down a trigger or something with the Vive controller. I don't know. Sounds cool though.
Definitely. I wish I had the Vive, but I do not.
Yeah, that's what kind of sucks is that probably all these Bethesda VR experiences are unfortunately not going to come to PSVR.
I know, it's a shame. But
Which is
it's
a big
fun to get
bummer.
excited about them, to
Yeah.
pretend like we can enjoy them. Maybe
Mhm.
one day in life when we acquire gaming PCs, we will indulge.
Yes.
I know. I got to be honest, though. I wouldn't mind seeing a new mobile game from Bethesda.
Skyrim
Studios.
Shelter.
Yeah, because I told you I loved Fallout Shelter. Granted, most of that was due to my hype for Fallout 4, and I haven't really played it much since then. I think after Fallout 4 came out, I stopped playing Shelter altogether. But I thought that was an excellent mobile experience. I know it's similar to a lot of other ones. It's inspired by many other mobile games, but I thought they nailed it, and I'd love to see, like you said, something with Elder Scrolls could be kind of cool. I don't know, but I thought it was a really great mobile game, and I'd like to see something else like that from them. It was different.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys hope to see above all else, though, at Bethesda's press conference?
I want to see the new Wolfenstein game.
I agree.
My big throw up in the sky is we get something about Elder Scrolls 6.
That'd be pretty wild.
Yeah.
I mean, my biggest hope, like you mentioned earlier, is just one of the new IPs that Bethesda's working on. It's just maybe a tease of one of them would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't think we have any other predictions because, as you mentioned, Prey and Dishonored were two flagship titles.
Yeah.
Not so much Prey, but especially.
I don't know, maybe some Dishonored DLC would be sick.
I know. I was thinking they might say something about Dishonored because I know it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't a crazy success. I guess I know people really enjoyed it, but it wasn't really on fire.
Yeah.
For
I mean,
anyone,
critically, it was received extremely well.
Right. I just don't think it sold very well.
Yeah.
But I mean, just the critical reception alone, I think, would make sense for DLC.
Dishonored 1 had really bad ass DLC. 2 really. I mean, it had 3. 1 was like a trials thing, but 2, the Brigmore Witches, and I forgot the other one, but where you played as Dodd.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I didn't actually get to it until like the remastered edition or whatever it was called, and I enjoyed them a ton. So hopefully they.
Yeah, I
follow
watched
suit.
Stealth Gamer play through all that DLC, and it was fascinating.
Yeah,
watching him do his thing.
It's really good.
So, but I don't know. Any more hopes or predictions for Bethesda, boys?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, moving on to Ubisoft, the main day of E3 in our minds, Monday, June 12th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. What are we going to see?
Assassin's Creed, obviously. Far Cry 5, obviously.
Of course.
South Park.
Yeah. Maybe.
We might see another. Do you think it's appropriate to have another demo for South Park? Do you think we should just get a trailer and be like, it's coming on this day, like they
I don't think it's
announced?
Appropriate, but they're going to do it anyway.
You think they will?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they'll have
conferences are
like
so
another complete segment dedicated to it where they have those guys.
The two dudes come out.
Yeah. They'll just show some comedic gameplay.
Right. I think maybe a couple minutes of either a very brief segment of the game or a brief trailer, because we know the release date, but just a brief trailer and the release date I think would be fine for that game.
Mm-hmm.
They got to get that thing out though, because they've been pushing it for so long.
What about Steep DLC?
I was going to joke about that because I don't know how that game sold, but when I played the demo, I thought it was really cool. But I mean, I have no desire to play it, but it was cool.
Is the Division done? Is all the DLC out for the Division?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I was gonna speculate on it a bit. I don't know because I haven't heard anything about the Division in a while, ever since Survival Mode or whatever came out. So
I feel like there's another one left. I don't know.
Or it could be.
I mean, you know what the team's working on right now, right?
I have no idea.
They're working on an Avatar game.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, that's supposed to be out in like 2020 or something.
Alongside the movie,
Yeah.
the sequel, one of 4 sequels, if I'm not mistaken. It's ridiculous.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah.
That sounds so boring. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll see some Watch Dogs DLC, maybe. I'm sure we'll see some Ghost Recon stuff.
Definitely.
Then they're going to end it with...
What about some For Honor stuff?
Yeah, that would make sense. That would.
Maybe some new factions or something. Maybe a new faction.
Yeah, I mean, they've already come out with stuff like that. I'm trying to think of new games. Because it seems like all their stuff is just out and they would be supporting it. The only new stuff I know for a fact that's coming out is Assassin's Creed and Far Cry and Stick of Truth. Or not Stick of Truth, Fractured Butthole.
Right. I think Ubisoft mentioned that one of their 3 games that are going to be at E3, Crew 2 is going to be there as well.
You're right. Right. I know what they're going to end with.
What's that?
Splinter Cell.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love that. That's my biggest hope for Ubisoft.
This is the year.
Okay, I'm gonna trust you, Preston. If you say this is the year.
This year is perfect for Splinter Cell. To announce it, at least.
You may be right.
Yeah.
I could see Splinter Cell if they announce it coming out February or maybe March of next year, like a weird spring release, perhaps.
Yeah.
Maybe beginning of next year. I don't know.
So that is my, if I could have anything ever come from Ubisoft, it's that.
Mm-hmm. Now, as far as Assassin's Creed Origins, which is basically the confirmed title right now, I think we'll obviously see, I hope to see a demo. I think it'd be silly if we didn't see a demo, but we'll see a classic Assassin's Creed cinematic trailer followed by a gameplay demo, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, I'm pumped.
So am I. I hope it lives up to the hype because I have high hopes for this extra year they took off to develop it.
Oh, yeah. I have a feeling it's going to be really cool.
Mm-hmm. I love the setting. That's all of it is seemingly confirmed at this point. It's been leaked so much, but I think
did you see the
protagonist
t-shirt?
looks. I did, yeah.
Yeah, that's 100% there. It's done. That's what's going on.
Right. I can't remember his name. It's like
Ba-Ek or something.
Yeah, it sounds awesome. He looks totally badass too, and I love the setting of ancient Egypt. I think that sounds cool. So I'm very excited to see it.
1435 or something like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So. In Far Cry 5, hopefully the demo shows us something slightly new other than the bizarre setting we find ourselves in.
Yeah.
So as far as gameplay is concerned.
Yeah.
If I could ask for one thing from Ubisoft, it'd be see another dance routine for Just Dance 2017, presumably.
Yeah. Can we please have Justin Derulo again? Can he please
Yes, absolutely. Come? He was one of my favorite E3 memories by far.
That was a horrible performance.
What was the song you were singing again? That was a joke for a while. Was it meme? I can't remember what song it was. It was really funny though.
He like sings super high.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was.
Oh, we'd have to look it up. Yeah. That's hilarious though. But I can't really think of any other
maybe this year they should just try and be a little bit less cringy. Or maybe they should.
I don't know, dude. I don't know if they can.
Yeah.
I think that's just they're known for that now. They kind of have to embrace it. I imagine. What's her name again? I always forget the lady's name.
Aisha Taylor, I think.
That's right.
Yeah.
The lady boner lady.
Yes.
Oh boy. All right. Well,
oh man.
Any other hopes from Ubisoft other than our predictions?
Splinter Cell, man. That's what I pray for every year.
I'm with you on that one, Preston. You and I adored Blacklist, so I definitely hope to play through another Splinter Cell with you. It'd be awesome. All right, boys, let's move on to our personal favorite, #NotFanboys press conference of the entire E3 2017 event. Sony, June 12th, Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Mm-hmm.
What are our predictions?
Dude, what are they going to open with?
There's a lot they can open with, dude. I think they're going to... I think they may open with God of War again, but I think since they opened with it last year, it'd be cooler if they opened with something else.
They've got to open with something new again. That was the hypest thing ever, is them opening up with something new.
Exactly. I think they know that by now, too. I think they've seen the past 2 years what has worked as far as making a great press conference. I think they know to open with something big that people... Because
last year's opening with that live orchestra going right into God of War. I mean, and
that reveal of Kratos, that was so cool.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, I love me some God of War. I wouldn't consider myself the biggest God of War fan, but I really enjoy it. But as just I like God of War fan, that just entire opening freaking got me hyped as hell for the new God of War. Awesome. Just the way they opened it.
Right.
So I want something on that level, but I don't know what they could do on that level unless they just came out swinging with like Last of Us 2 gameplay, like massive reveal that's just the most intense thing we've ever seen in our life.
Yeah, that would be insane. I think if they had to have an ultimate opening, which is not, it's pretty bold to predict this, but if they were to have the best opening possible, I think it would be Last of Us 2 gameplay, even if it's brief, similar to the demo when you're in the hotel in the first one.
Yeah,
just opening with something like that would be incredible.
Yeah. I mean, what do you end with though? After that,
I think you end with God of War or Spider-Man. I think another great opening could be Spider-Man. Like in contrast to the previous press conference, opened very epically. Imagine this one opened more upbeat and fun. I know this sounds so stupid to say fun sounding, where it opens with a Spider-Man demo of him swinging through the city and fighting a bunch of goons, and we get to see some Spider-Man gameplay. I think that'd be a fun opening, in contrast to the previous
I think
one.
that if Last of Us 2 is present at E3, it's going to be at the end. Naughty Dog always ends E3 with their stuff. The only time they ever have opened is they always open at PSX with their stuff.
I think it's better to have not that you would want this per se, but I'd rather have a weaker opening and a much stronger finish, because that's what people will take away with them.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think Last of Us 2, if we see anything, whether it be another trailer or gameplay, will for sure be at the end. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Though?
Yeah.
Or what are you going to say?
I'm just trying to think of IP that... what if they... dude, I know what they should open with. Sucker Punch's new game.
Oh, yes, dude.
You think that's
absolutely.
Gonna be here?
I think for sure we'll see something from Sucker Punch.
I know they've been working on something, and I don't think it's Infamous either.
Okay. Yeah, I hope it's not Infamous. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed Second Son, but I'd love to see something new from them.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a phenomenal prediction, Preston. I think you are absolutely correct. I'm calling it right now. You're right about that. It's going to be Sucker Punch's game.
Think we'll see anything for Red Dead? Because it is in their preview trailer.
I don't think we will. I want to, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've put my chips on Rockstar being at E3 too many times for them not to be there, so I'm not even going to say it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Bungie will show up to their press conference?
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, we'll see some Destiny
and Call of Duty
sure.
too, probably.
Yeah, Call of Duty and Destiny, definitely. I can't wait to see that. I think we're for sure going to see a D-Day demo from Call of Duty, no doubt.
Oh, yeah.
That's safe.
So, absolutely.
Because that will set the tone for the entire game and what people can expect.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man, it'd be crazy if they didn't show gameplay at this point. I'd be so pissed if it was just another trailer. So I think we're guaranteed to see gameplay, and I'm so freaking excited for that, dude. I can't even describe how pumped I am.
I know that we're a week away from seeing it. It's just...
I know. I'm on the verge of crapping my pants.
Dude.
Yeah, you may cry again.
I might. Just to be sure you're tuned in to see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You think there's a small chance that we see a Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer?
Yes, we'll see a trailer.
I think you're right.
For this game that will come out in 2030.
You know what I think they have to show is a bit more from the Final Fantasy VII Remake for sure.
See, I don't know if we'll get both of those.
I don't know if we'll get both.
I honestly don't want to see either.
You don't want to?
With them saying pretty recently that it's going to be like 3 years out or something.
Right. Yeah. What's the point?
Yeah.
Really?
They're just keeping. I mean, just go away until you're actually ready to come out.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. But what about it's called Detroit Become Human?
Yeah.
I think we'll see more from that.
There's a chance they might open with that too, just show something new.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't think that's much of an exciting opening.
It could be. You don't know what they're going to show.
Yeah, but I don't know.
They unveiled so much stuff last year that like I'm worried it's just going to be like a retread of everything last year.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
It's going to be more of the same.
Yeah,
but
because nothing really came out.
Right. It was just all announced.
Just Horizon that came out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
but speaking of Horizon, I think we will see a DLC trailer for whatever they have coming.
That's a good point. Yeah, I could see that.
That'd be awesome.
Definitely. May see some Gran Turismo Sport gameplay and perhaps maybe a release date finally. I think it's slated for this year.
That'll just be probably like a quick hit it, we're out of here thing. Probably.
Right.
We'll see some VR titles.
Yeah, how long do you think they're going to spend on VR?
I think there's going to be a brand new.
I think it might be a new
AAA title.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, I want more experiences like Farpoint for sure, like fully fledged VR games. But I think it'll be another montage scenario where they just show a few of them that are coming.
Could be.
So
I mean,
there's going to be something
a great
big
job
at least
last year with that. Resident Evil 7, Arkham VR.
Is that where? Yeah, they originally announced Farpoint.
Yeah, the Farpoint reveal.
I think they'll do
Star Wars
at least
X-Wing
a game
mission
on the scale of Farpoint equivalent.
I just want to see a VR implemented in World War II. that sub thing.
Yeah, that's a dream, dude. Imagine if they showed Call of Duty demo, they move on to PSVR either immediately after or shortly after that, and they tease VR component to World War II. I think it'd be awesome.
Yeah,
so
that would be cool.
That is a massive hope for me as well. I think that'd be incredible.
Definitely be cool.
Days Gone. See more from Days Gone.
Yeah.
Potentially a release date.
Yeah. You think that's
I think we get a release date for that and God of War.
I think you're right. I've heard rumors floating around that God of War may come January of next year. Maybe.
I like that.
I don't know. I think that's a pretty solid place for it.
Yeah.
In consideration of everything we have coming this year.
It's far enough away from Far Cry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You guys think Days Gone's coming this year?
I think so.
Okay.
Maybe.
It's like I 60% think so.
Alrighty. That's a safe bet, I guess.
Yeah.
I think we'll see another demo. I'd love to see something other than him just slaying a bunch of zombies. I'd like to see other features of the game.
Yeah,
I mean, of course, the combat's crucial, but
I want to see him drive the motorcycle. I want to see how this world actually works. Because I mean, the last demo was not too exciting. It was kind of just bland.
Now, technically impressive for sure.
Yeah.
But gameplay wise, it's like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. But I agree. I'd like to see more of the world, him driving around on the motorcycle, how he interacts with the other gang members in this world.
How this separates itself from all the other I'm running from zombies, shooting them type of games.
Totally.
So,
yeah. But like you said, I wouldn't say I'm worried about Sony's press conference because I think despite having already announced their biggest titles, I think there will be at least one or two reveals in there. And secondly, I think they can take what they've already shown and make it even more exciting this year by
expand upon it.
Yeah, by just showing more gameplay. I think because gameplay is always king to me at these press conferences. So I think Spider-Man gameplay is a must. Horizon DLC, I think it'd be awesome to see. PSVR titles is crucial, and just seeing Call of Duty as well is cool, although that is a third-party title. But as far as exclusives, if I can see a cool demo of Days Gone, God of War, and Spider-Man, I think I'll be satisfied. Ultimately, Spider-Man.
Yeah,
we'll see something more Death Stranding, too.
I want to see new stuff as well.
I hope we don't see more Death Stranding.
I don't want to see it, but
I think it's inevitable just because Hideo Kojima is such a big name that they're like, out of respect for him,
don't forget about me.
Let's show more of your game for the next 7 years till it comes out.
If we see Hideo's game, I actually want to see gameplay.
If there is gameplay at this point, there's got to be something.
I mean, there's got to be some gameplay. I just don't know if it's ready to unveil. I mean, he's unveiling, all these other trailers. I mean, he really hasn't unveiled that much. It's been, 2 trailers? That's it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like some gameplay would be really cool.
I agree.
But yeah, I just want to say I love new stuff. I love surprises, and I just can't think of anything that's, that could just be like a massive surprise. Because like if Sucker Punch is working on a new IP, that's like really cool and stuff. But I love these old revivals. You know what I mean? These like old PlayStation franchises that haven't been touched in a while. Like maybe like a Sly Cooper. That'd be like cool, but not on the same like hype level as like God of War or something,
I will say I would get extremely excited about Sly Cooper, but most importantly, Spyro the Dragon. I'd freak out if we had any sort of remaster for that game. I know it's been talked about in the past over the last few years, but if they actually did a remaster of that original Spyro game on PS1, I would probably cry like you did, Preston. Probably not to the extent and that much emotion, but I think one tear would stream down my cheek if we got a Spyro remaster, because I have intense nostalgia for the first one, so I think it'd be great.
Nice.
We'll probably see a little more from when does Crash Bandicoot come out again? They might do a little something
it's
like that.
It's the end of June.
Okay, they might be like, dude, it's still coming, like a brief little montage of the games.
Yeah.
And, cool.
Yep.
So, I don't know, but any other predictions or hopes for Sony?
No, I mean, that's the thing is I can't even come up with anything. They've just been consistently putting out or just putting on like amazing press conferences. It's like my hype just increasingly gets higher and higher, and eventually they're not going to be able to hit it. And I'm scared this is going to be the one.
Right.
I'm just excited I want Sucker Punch to announce their game. It's been too long, I feel like.
I think you're right. I think that's crucial. If they have that Spider-Man gameplay and maybe one other cool reveal, I think that'll be satisfying.
Yeah, that and The Last of Us 2, and I'd be perfectly content.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I keep forgetting about that one. Yeah, I think if they show plenty of gameplay from all the games we've talked about, I think it'll be a success. I mean, their games ultimately speak for themselves. So if they can show off gameplay
Are we getting
from
this
all the big ones,
PS5 drop, dude?
oh, sick, man! I'm so stoked. That would be hilarious.
How crazy would that be? Because some people, dude, are 100% set on that it is going down.
No way. Absolutely
I don't
not.
believe
Awesome.
it. I'll believe it when I see it.
I think appropriate to just mention it at any rate would be next year, maybe. But even then, I'm satisfied with what we have now. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not all about me, obviously, but I feel like there's no point right now. I'm not the first to say that. But
sure,
we'll see.
I would be lying if I wouldn't be like, oh my God, if they did.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So.
But before we move on from Sony's predictions, Mr. Frosty Shake has sent us a community question. He says, E3 is coming up and my superhero gaming dream may come true with a new PS4 Spider-Man. # not a fanboy. Specifically because it's made by Insomniac, a company I've grown to love and trust since the first Ratchet & Clank on PS2. Spider-Man is my favorite hero, but if you could pick any superhero and any game developer to make your dream hero game, what would it be?
I don't know what developer I'd want to make this, but a Wolverine game.
Have you played X-Men Origins Wolverine, the game?
Nope.
That's the best Wolverine game that exists, and it's actually really good. So, but I'd love a new one, sure. If it was in the vein of the X-Men Origins movie game, which is so funny how good it was in comparison to the movie and it just being a movie game in general. If they made a new Wolverine game, I think it'd be awesome. My dream game has already been made by Rocksteady Studios. It's Batman Arkham City. And even Arkham Knight I loved elements of. I've talked about this plenty, but Arkham City is my favorite superhero game. So my dreams have come true. Now I cannot wait to see, which we forgot to mention. Do you think Rocksteady will have a presence at any of these conferences? Probably Sony, I would imagine. No. You don't think so?
If they do, it's at Sony.
I think they may announce a new Batman game somewhere.
Them?
I didn't think about that.
They're done with Batman.
I don't know if it's Rocksteady or another studio, but maybe it's WB Montreal.
Yeah,
I just mean a Batman game in general. Do you think we'll see this year? I think we will. I don't think they'll. Whether it be Batman or in the world of Batman, I think they're not going to let that franchise go because it's been so successful. So I think we may see a tease of something.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I don't think it's out of the question. That's one of my predictions. If not, it's Sony. Actually, I think I'm going to call it now. It's going to be at Sony. We're going to see a tease or trailer for a new Batman title from someone. Yeah, I think we'll see.
My dream game is being developed as we speak. And I think I don't know if I would have picked Insomniac if I had the decision, just because I don't think I would be smart enough to put those two and two together, but it just sounds perfect now that they're doing it.
Right.
Initially, when the rumors were Sucker Punch, that made plenty sense with me. But now hearing Insomniac after Sunset Overdrive, I think they are definitely the ones that are best to take over for that.
For sure.
But I guess besides that, I'm going to say the most generic thing of all time, but I would love to see Rocksteady do a Superman game.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I just want to see a competent developer try and do Superman with him being as powerful as he is, just balancing that in a game to still have a challenge and stuff, you know? Like, I just don't know how that's possible. I'd love to see a competent developer tackle that.
For sure. I think an interesting narrative to try to tackle would be to balance the line between a good and evil Superman. I know it'd be a little too RPG-ish for a Rocksteady type superhero game, but I think it'd be cool if you could take a path of good or evil with a Superman game. It'd be kind of cool. Because I loved that aspect of Injustice too. I thought it was one of the most interesting elements of the narrative. So that could be cool if you were playing as Superman exclusively.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, like I said, my dream superhero game has already been made, but Spider-Man is my second favorite superhero by far, so I'm also losing my mind over Spider-Man PS4. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
What about you, Jacob? You mentioned Wolverine. Anything else?
No. Just move on.
Let's do it, dude. Nintendo. Their Treehouse Live event's happening Tuesday, June 13th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. What are we going to see, boys?
The Smash Bros. On the Switch.
You're right,
release
Jacob.
Date.
I think you're totally right. What do you think, Preston?
I hope that's the case. I know there was like a leaked picture or two here and there. Hopefully that's for real. I want to see a new Metroid Prime.
I know, yeah. You've been mentioning that a lot. That would be cool.
Yeah, and
we're obviously going to see Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, Mario Odyssey.
That's going to be
I think that'll be their flagship game they demo at Treehouse will be that one. We're going to see a lot of ARMS hype because ARMS comes out shortly after E3, if I'm not mistaken.
That's the thing. I don't know if they'll cover that because they just had a Treehouse for that.
Sure, and they have those free-to-play events going on right now. But
I could maybe see them talking about Splatoon again.
Yeah. Splatoon 2 will be there for sure.
They'll talk about both to some extent. I don't think it's going to be
just for the sake
focus.
of marketing and selling it. I think we'll mention ARMS at least. Speaking of ARMS, dude, I've seen a lot of extra. I mean, I barely played it when that free day was happening. I know there's a couple more happening, but I didn't realize how many. And I watched the Treehouse event detailing the entire game too, but all the different modes combined into that experience and how in depth you can go with these characters, I was genuinely impressed with. And I kind of feel bad about laughing about it so much when they first announced it, but everything else I've seen from it, it looks really good. As I've said, I don't know if I'm going to pick it up, but I'm genuinely impressed by it.
Yeah, two things. Maybe they talk about the Zelda DLC coming. I don't know if it's coming this year, but
it is.
We have the one pack that's coming later this summer or the fall, isn't it?
Okay.
So maybe they'll talk about the one coming out.
There's one already released, right?
At the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they might mention, probably not, I don't know, maybe the new Pokemon game for Switch.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Be hype, son.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to see GameCube Virtual Console so bad.
You and me both, man.
So bad, dude. I want Twilight Princess and Wind Waker and Super Mario Sunshine and Metroid Prime 1 and 2 on the go, dude. Oh,
that'd be awesome.
So bad. I want it.
That would be so good. I would play the crap out of Mario Sunshine again. I love that game. I know people say it's not a great Mario game, but I loved it as a kid.
Yeah. I just want
if they announce
Twilight
Smash
Princess.
Bros., I hope it's a relatively soon release date. I think it'd be awesome. It's like, hey, a couple months from now, Smash Bros. Will be out. It'd be great.
I doubt that, but I agree. I want it to be a thing.
I think that would fill. I mean, we may see a lot announced at this Treehouse. Maybe we won't, but I think it'd be a great filler before Mario Odyssey comes later in the holiday season. I think it'd be cool to see Smash Bros. Come out in the next couple of months. It'd be awesome.
I don't see why it couldn't. It's just porting it onto there.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think everyone may be onto something with that leaked image. I think we'll for sure see it, but whether it comes soon or not, I don't know. But I'd like to think it's coming pretty soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Splatoon 2 and Mario Odyssey will be their big ones, and I think we might see.
Oh, I want to see.
Maybe we'll see some gameplay or a trailer for the Zelda DLC, like they talk about the Master Sword trials or whatever. Maybe they'll show off some of that.
Yeah, I would love to see a follow up to the trailer they had at the reveal event of Xenoblade.
Okay.
I do not think for the that is coming out this year in the slightest, but I would love to be proved wrong and then show some gameplay and have a release date for this year, dude. I'm going to just devour that game on the Switch. Holy crap, okay. I'm so excited. I've been dying to play a Xenoblade game, so I'm super pumped for this one.
I'm definitely interested just based on everyone's hype for that franchise, so I'll definitely try it owning a Switch when it comes.
Yeah, maybe we'll get a US release date for Monster Hunter.
I was thinking that, possibly, yeah.
That'd be cool. So that seems about it for me as far as things I can think of. Do
you think we'll see any more third-party announcements for the Switch?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It'll be games that have already come out, probably.
Right.
You think we'll get a Skyrim
new
update?
Small IP?
Yeah, Skyrim update. There might be a couple new ones spliced in there that they're bringing over.
Dude, how is that game going to play?
I have no idea. I've been wondering that.
I just want to see how it plays.
It's going to drain that battery.
Oh, yeah. It's going to kill it. Yeah. I mean, then again, Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda's, that's what I think of. Zelda's huge, but Skyrim has so much
more to it, especially when you think about all you can. I mean, this seems like such a small thing, but all the things you can collect in the game, just like the loot system of Skyrim.
Mm-hmm.
So
I feel like if you just collect every cheese wheel and like throw it into your house, the entire
exactly
the
Switch would start smoking and explode.
Yeah.
But I think that's all of our predictions. I don't really have any high hopes other than, like you mentioned, Virtual Console, and I think a Smash Bros. Release date in the near future would be exciting as well.
Yeah.
I have a lot of expectations for Nintendo, and I hope I'm not let down.
Yeah.
Because it's weird that I actually care about what they're releasing now that I have a Nintendo console.
Dude, I think they have potential to really, I wouldn't say steal the show, but really turn some heads. I mean, it's not that anyone's not paying attention to Nintendo, but I think they have the potential to really impress people and get them excited with their at the Treehouse thing if they bring the right stuff to the table for sure. So,
yeah.
And granted, it's Nintendo. They could do that any year if they wanted to. But this year, I think they have the most potential to do so.
Especially with Mario coming out.
I agree. Yeah. But boys, that brings us to the final segment of the show. Community questions, our personal favorite segment of this show, because we can communicate with all of you directly. If you want your questions right on the show, you can submit them in one of three places. On Facebook, you can message us. On email at ItsObviousGaming@gmail.com, or on our Discord channel in the Ask IOG section. Now, if you want your question read on this show or our other show, Ask IOG, just always include the hashtag Ask IOG, and whether it's an email or a message or a post anywhere, just so we know you want it read on the show. If you just want to talk in general, by all means, just send us a message, and we'd love to talk to you. But as always, we greatly appreciate all you guys sending us questions every week. It's awesome. I love reading through them and collecting them, like I mentioned on Discord recently, and it's an absolute honor. We love hearing from you guys. So thank you for contributing to this episode. The first one comes from Rupert. Rupert says, what is your favorite memory of a past E3? You want to start us off, Preston?
Yeah, mine's just got to be the PS4 whole reveal kablam event with just me and you in the apartment. Just that, how we were just kind of upset about the whole Xbox One fiasco, about used games and the price, and just kind of being bummed out about it because, we were, initially planning on moving on to Xbox One because we were, big 360 guys, and just Sony coming out at their press conference saying just everything perfectly, the no use game or allowing used games, $399 was the price. Just that entire conference, me and you were just so pumped and like cheering and stuff. And I don't know, I think it was also just due to that was the first E3 that me and you had spent like the entire day together. That's probably what was more memorable, but just that being such a landmark like E3 event that people still look back to today, that also helped as well. So
right, yeah. I mean, my favorite memory of that day was just you and I making out in between conferences and eating Taco Bell.
Yeah, we did that.
It was really special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites as well. And another one would be last year when you erupted into the most emotional state I've ever witnessed you in with the Spider-Man PS4 reveal. I don't think I'll ever see you that emotional again in my life.
Dude,
and it was
you know what's
really
funny
special.
about that?
What?
Besides it being actually funny, Lizzie, who was with us when I did that, which says something because
I forgot about that.
Yeah, because she stayed with me after that.
Right. And now she's your fiance.
Yeah, so that should say something. But she was asking me for the video of that event taking place.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you talking about? She was like, yeah, I want to see the video of you freaking out to the Spider-Man thing. And I was like, we didn't record that. She's like, yeah, you showed it to me. I was like, no, you were there with me. That's how you saw it. And she did not even remember her being there with us. She thought it was like a video we recorded. Wow. So I wish it was a video. How did you ever forget that?
I mean, I'm scarred for life after that outburst.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to like scare you guys, but
I wasn't necessarily scared. I was just blown away. I mean, you have so much passion in your heart, Preston. It's the first time you revealed it to me. So I was like, wow. So
yeah, I mean, that's probably the only time I'll ever act like that in my entire life.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking, I don't know what could possibly top that.
The stars are aligned for me to act like that.
Exactly. So what about you, Jacob? What's a favorite memory for you?
I got a few that are prominent in my mind. The one year where I was at E3, and I wasn't at E3, I was at Panama City Beach with a group of friends, or one friend and a bunch of family of his. When we were watching the Xbox E3 press conference, when they showed the Master Chief Collection coming to Xbox One, that was super awesome. Mm-hmm. Even though I wasn't like a huge Halo fan at the time, I just like the fact that I could play all those games on one console, like, I don't know, just really excited me. And plus, everyone that I was with loved Xbox, so it was like made the hype even more at the time. But now I think back on it, I'm like, I don't even care about that now. But another time was when we first saw like the first gameplay for Destiny. Was it at Sony's press conference, right?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the only one that's shown Destiny stuff. That like blew me away when I first saw that. I was like, holy crap, this is everything I've ever wanted in a game.
Yeah.
But obviously that wasn't the case. But I'm even more excited for what they'll show at Destiny or this year, if they'll show anything.
Sure.
I mean, they'll be there for sure at E3. But I don't know if they'll actually be at the show.
They'll show stuff, and they'll probably have the beta reveal and stuff for that date.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get a beta release date. And another time was, I think it wasn't last year, I don't think, but one of the years when they showed the Uncharted 4 gameplay with him being dragged behind in the Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was really awesome. I love
That
it.
was
Yeah,
2
well,
years ago.
I forgot to mention, we'll probably see some, is it called Lost Legacy? The new
Yeah,
Uncharted?
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll probably see
Sure.
some gameplay from that at Sony. I forgot about that.
I don't want to, though. They already showed a lot.
They showed that one segment of her in that cloak, and she like fights some dudes at the end.
Yeah, but we don't even know how. I mean, I'm assuming this game's like, how long is it? Like, that's
I think we heard
Needs to be
rumors
like
like 10
10,
hours or
12
so.
10 hours? Okay. I hope
That's
it's
pretty
that long.
solid.
That's PR speak, though, so it's probably a little bit less than
That's
that.
true. Yeah. It's 10 hours if you find everything and walk very slowly through
Yeah.
the whole thing. So technically it's 10 hours.
Because it's like, what, 30 or $40 too?
I think so,
So it's
yeah.
probably
It's 40.
realistically 7-8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I mean, even that's cool for me, I think.
Oh, no, that's fine for what it is, but like the more they show out of only 7-8 hours, that's like the less we're experiencing for ourselves.
Mhm.
But in retrospect, I think that's a guarantee we're going to see more from that.
Yeah, for sure.
They may even open with that.
Maybe.
I wouldn't put it past them. We'll see. Oh, yeah, it'd be interesting open and close with
Yeah.
Naughty Dog.
Mm-hmm.
So
With it
Probably-
coming out so soon, I would like for it just to be in the sizzle reel. That's because when's PSX? Is PSX?
November.
It's not okay. Never mind. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be there, but hopefully it's not like that big of a deal. Like, I don't want it to take up a giant game slot for a game coming out so soon, and it's not like as long as, you know, a normal Uncharted game.
I agree. Yeah, well, hopefully, as far as memories are concerned, we can make some brand new ones this year together. I look forward to it.
Yeah.
And all of you are going to tune into our live stream. It'll be fun. And speaking of the live stream, I don't blame you guys if you technically tune into our stream but mute us and watch the stream elsewhere. I wouldn't blame you at all. But to those of you that are genuinely going to watch along with us, we look forward to hanging out with you guys. It's going to be cool. Next one comes from D. Smitty. He says, "Hey fellas, so I'll admit I never gave a shit about trophies or platinuming a game until I started listening to your podcast. That being said, what is the process you each go through? I know Preston has mentioned creating a spreadsheet that he prints up. Would love to get a look at those. Jacob said he looks at the available trophies before starting a game, and Garrett has suggested that he only really considers platinuming games he thoroughly enjoys. Just looking for some specific tips to keep in mind while trying to knock out a few platinums. Also, not sure if I'm the only one here, but I think it'd be pretty cool if Preston made some platinum guide videos if he had the time." What do you think, boys? What is your process? I mean, I guess he kind of knows our process. He mentioned it.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty.
He mentioned a lot of it.
He nailed mine. I mean, I literally just platinum games. If I'm having a ton of fun with a game and it's feasible for me, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll platinum this.
I'm never going to play a game more than I have to, as much as I love the game.
Mhm.
So if I'm chasing a platinum, I don't want to miss something in a playthrough where I'll have to play the game again. That just completely ruins the point of going for the platinum for me.
Right.
So I'm going to do my research beforehand to make sure I don't do something like that.
Okay.
And I do use guides sometimes to achieve that. Not to the point where I'm like spoiling the game for myself because the guide's telling me what's happening, but you know, just to make sure I'm not doing something that's going to make me have to replay the game. So
For sure.
and I'm also like you. I only play platinum games that I want to really platinum.
Mhm.
Not every game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you.
To me, it comes down to for the most part, I go into a game assuming I'm going to platinum it no matter what it is. Depending on my hype level for the game, like for instance, when The Last of Us Part 2 comes out, I am not going to put in that game and be thinking about trophies. That first playthrough is going to strictly be, I am going to enjoy this game for what it is, and I'm going to make the decisions that come to me, and like make those decisions, if there are even decisions in the game or like skill trees and stuff, that I believe will suit me best. And I'm not going to have trophies lingering in the back of my head preventing me of doing things that I think will be fun and things that I want to do in my first playthrough.
Totally.
I only really think about that for a game that I'm extremely hyped for. I can use... I'll step back a little bit. In terms of the spreadsheet thing, I use that for games that typically require multiple playthroughs or things that I have to accomplish in a certain order. For instance, Mankind Divided, Deus Ex. I pretty much just printed out a spreadsheet of every trophy in that game and was marking them off as I go, and I was like linking them with arrows in terms of, okay, I get this one on my second playthrough that goes along with this one, and this one comes after this one. Just a pretty like, you know, generic process. And I don't do that with everything. I made a little spreadsheet for Persona 2 just to kind of remind myself of what I needed to do, just so I wouldn't make like a mistake and forget to do something. In terms of me making guides, I'll go ahead and get this out of the way. I probably not, because I just do, I use guides for the most part. I like to not use guides, but there are some pretty obscure trophies that I don't feel like monkeying around with and trying to get. The only game I ever did that for was the Technomancer. I had to find everything out for myself in that game, all by myself, which that actually was rewarding, because there was a pretty obscure trophy that I just had to monkey around with to figure out. And when it actually popped, it felt super satisfying knowing that, you know, as far as I knew, I was one of the few people that had to just figure out how to do this thing. I should have put it online, but I did not. Not that anybody really cared. I don't know if anybody that's even playing the Technomancer. But anyways, just an example of what I'm doing right now with Prey. I am excited for Prey, but I'm not on that hype level of like The Last of Us where I want to play this game completely without trophies in mind. My first playthrough, I am keeping trophies in mind somewhat. I've already looked at a platinum walkthrough guide for this game, and they recommend your first playthrough of this game be powerless, no powers at all, and at the very end of the game, to get the only use alien powers in this playthrough, just unlock one skill and beat the game. So in his walkthrough, it doesn't even require you playing through the game at all with alien powers, which that sounds completely dumb and boring to me. At that point, that's not enjoying Prey. I want to play Prey with the alien powers. That's what's fun about the game to me. At some point, I will play the game without those powers for the trophy. But like I said, my initial playthrough, I just want to make my own decisions and have as much fun with it as I can. So that's essentially how I look at it. I don't really care if like Persona, I knew before going into that game that I will platinum this game. I don't care if it takes me to 8 playthroughs to play it. It's just there are some games where I absolutely have to get the platinum or else it'll drive me crazy. That primarily is games that I buy the special edition for, because I don't want to like some bitch that, yeah, I bought this special edition, but I'm not going to platinum the game. So primarily those games I go into it with that mindset. But
you're saying everyone who buys a special edition but doesn't platinum it is a bitch.
Yeah, I'm calling you out.
Okay. Yeah, the only time I've made a literal spreadsheet like you have in the past was when I played Dark Souls 3. I enjoyed the game so much, and I beat every boss, but in order to platinum it, there was multiple things that I missed and did incorrectly through my initial playthrough. So as I was researching how to platinum the game, I was making a spreadsheet like you mentioned, and it was very detailed and very complicated, and it wasn't out of the question. I could have done it had I played through the game a second time, but at that point I had to move on to other stuff because we do so many videos, obviously, that in order for me to keep that up, I couldn't afford to play through it again. Yeah. So I had to let it go, which is disappointing, but at the very least, I beat every boss in Dark Souls 3, which was enough for me.
That's a good accomplishment. I haven't even done that yet. I don't know if I'll ever get to be able... I don't know if I'll ever go back to that. Speaking of that really quick, what do you think the chances are Bloodborne 2 being at E3?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot, dude. Yeah. I think we're going to see something from that too. That'd be another awesome opening.
Yeah. That'd be a good opener. That would be a good opener.
Yeah, I agree.
That's one of those...
Dude, I think for sure we're getting that.
That'd be cool. That'd be freaking awesome. Actually, there's only one collector's edition I've bought that I haven't platinumed yet, let alone I haven't even really played the game at all. It's the Sword Art Hollow Realization collector's edition. Okay. I've literally played that game for an hour and a half. So
I guess you're a bitch then.
I guess so. Based on what I said, I am. I got to get to that game at some point. That game's like, it's whatever. It's like, it's fun, but it's not as fun as Prey or Mass Effect probably. So.
But, the most fun I've had recently platinuming games was Ratchet & Clank, Doom, and Horizon. Dude, I had a blast with all 3 of those.
Perfect platinums. Like, they are the epitome of amazing trophies. Horizon especially. Freaking great.
Yeah. It's because it's all about the gameplay ultimately is how you acquire those trophies.
It steers you, steers you into like, do all the side quests. I really like an open world game where you can just even when the game's over, you can still knock out the trophies.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And also, you can't say this about many platinums, but the best platinums, in my opinion, are the ones that give you the full best experience of a game. I mean, sure, you can play through Horizon just through the story and call it a day, but if you platinum Horizon, you are literally experiencing, I mean, you can say this about a lot of trophies, I guess, but especially Horizon, as far as the narrative is concerned, just the world itself, you can get every bit out of it you can by platinuming the game, because it takes you all over the place. You meet all kinds of different people and find newer, smaller stories that are also really enjoyable as you play through the game. So some platinums are worth it just to get every bit of the experience you possibly can. Yeah,
I would say
unless they're tedious, like a collection fest. Yeah.
So far, playing Prey and seeing the trophy list, I think it's a very solid list. Yeah, granted, unless you prepare, it's a good 3 playthroughs. The game isn't super long though. Like I can technically. There's an early ending you can get by literally just escaping Talos 1, and I just got to the point where I think I can just escape it in the game, period, which there's a trophy for that. There's trophies for saving people, like that affect the end of the game. It's essentially like we were talking about with Horizon. It kind of puts you along a path to do kind of everything in that game. And there's not like really like stupid trophies like carry this banana through the entire, game and whatever. Yeah. It's just decent trophies. So
I may be crazy, but I think I saw a title on YouTube of someone doing a speed run of Prey in less than 20 minutes or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, there's a way.
Is that the one about the early ending you were talking about?
Maybe. I didn't watch it because I don't want to be spoiled, but I watched the first 10 seconds, and the second that it starts where he's like in the apartment, he's able to jump on like top of the shower and like go through the roof and like escape everything. So I'm not exactly sure where it goes from there, but yeah, people have been able to like bug the crap out of Prey to end it super fast.
Interesting. Because do you think you could still acquire some of these playthrough trophies by doing something crazy like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, that's awesome. Yeah. That'd be cool.
I don't know if you can do it on console. Maybe you can. I'm sure they've patched it by now, but you can just revert to the everything before the patch and maybe do it. So I don't know.
Well, any more trophy thoughts from you, Jacob?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Dexter Clark writes in, and he says, what is your opinion on Wildlands? And if you haven't played it yet, are you interested in playing it?
No.
You're not?
Not at all.
What about you, Preston?
Maybe.
I want to say maybe too, because I'll be honest with you, Preston. I know we had a rough experience when we tried making a video for Wildlands, the demo or whatever, but when I played it by myself, I did think it was cool. And I could see myself, especially teaming up with friends, having a good time. And I've seen the core audience built around Wildlands who's supporting it. And apparently that game sold very well, by the way. Did. But I think with friends, it could be a lot of fun. And even like the goofy stuff, like the crazy glitches, I think it just adds to the fun. Yeah. So I think it looks pretty cool. I don't know when I'll play it, but it's not out of the question for me.
Yeah, that seems like a really good game later on down the line when there's a nothing out, a dead streak of games coming out when it's, a lot cheaper, maybe half price or something. That'd be a good thing to dive into, because that is a really good podcast game, and I'm always looking out for one of those.
Absolutely. So. Yeah, Dexter said he loves it, and I could tell that if I spend enough time with it, I think I could really enjoy it, because I do like open world, just crazy games like that where you can customize your character and play out however you see fit. I think that's fun, especially with friends. Yeah, I agree. Secondly, he also wants to know why we haven't played Mass Effect Andromeda. Now, we did mention earlier in the podcast that we have all played it. Mm-hmm. We just have not stuck with it because, not necessarily due to the issues, but there were other games coming out around it that we had rather, like Persona, for example, that we had rather have spent time with. And Preston and I currently have intentions to go back to Andromeda. Yeah.
I definitely will. I probably will say that I am going to hit Mass Effect this summer, because I don't think Prey is going to take that long for me to completely finish and stuff.
Especially because you've already finished, not even just finished, but platinumed Persona. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a huge game for me that I have to get through, so I have no time. I mean, I really have no time for Persona, but for me to get to Andromeda, I have to get through Persona first, and that in itself is a behemoth.
Yeah,
I have to do Zelda first, so.
Right.
Yeah. Getting Persona and Zelda kind of out of the way, and I hate saying out of the way like it's just like, oh, they're free from me, but just because they're absolutely phenomenal experiences, and the Game of the Year talk at the end of the year between Persona and Zelda is going to drive me nuts, because I do not know which one I enjoyed better, because I love both of them so much. Like, they are definitely two of the best games I've ever played in my life, like hands down easy. So that'll be just like an internal debate in itself, just between those two games. But just now that those behemoths of games are just kind of like, I've beaten them. I can, rest easy knowing that like I literally did everything in those games. Now I'm able to, move past them and go play games. That's like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, knowing I don't have to like go, that I don't have to, finish those giant long games, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I get it. I mean, I keep forgetting I have Zelda too. I'm still nicking away at it.
Yeah.
Just literally an hour a week I've spent with Zelda since it came out, with the exception of a few playthroughs where I'll play for a few hours at a time, but it's pretty
also,
minimal. We
haven't really had massive incentive to go to Mass Effect when we know it's still being improved upon. Like, right. I'm kind of enticed to wait for a price drop and for to get a better experience in that game than I would have if I had played it like a month ago.
Totally. It's almost like everyone playing it currently, especially at launch, is beta testing it.
Exactly.
To be finished.
I mean, I know a lot of people are kind of mad about that they like, played through this game and then they see that it's, being improved and they're like, oh, dang, I went through the worst this game was. So,
right. I imagine with a price drop, like you mentioned, all the improvements made, which it should have been that, not the price drop, but it should have been flawless out the gate regardless. I mean, every game should. But with a price drop and all the improvements made and just the critical reception of Mass Effect, despite all of its technical errors at the beginning, I think it'll be a totally justified at that point for playing through it for sure.
Yeah, my mind will also be in check on what to expect from this game as well going into it. So
absolutely. So Jacob, you mentioned Zelda's in your way still before you get to Andromeda.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to play Andromeda.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay.
I've never played Mass Effect before. I feel like if I start with that, what's the point?
Yeah. If they ever came out with a collection,
yeah, I'd rather just go back and play the old ones, to be honest.
Okay. If they came out with a collection, would you play them?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, people love those games, and I feel like I'm missing out by not knowing what they are. Honestly,
do you think that's out of the question now, Preston? A collection for Mass Effect?
I don't know why it would make sense these days, but I just don't know.
It's like arguably I could go back and just play them on the Xbox One right now, but I don't know. Like we always say, there's so much to play right now.
Right.
If you have a chance in your life to at least play the second one, I think you owe it to yourself to do that.
Yeah, that's excellent. Okay. It's so good. But moving on, Mr. Rowan Cross, also known as Ren. He says, "Hey guys, not sure if this has been asked before, but what are your favorite weapons in gaming? Mine are probably the Hammer of Dawn from Gears, the Widow Sniper from Mass Effect, and the pistol from Halo Combat Evolved. Gentlemen, what are your favorite video game weapons?"
Oh, wow.
I have mine.
All right.
Mine's the battle rifle from Halo.
That is so boring.
2? Oh, it's not boring for a Halo fan, dude. I love that gun.
It's so generic.
Well, to you it might be, but to Halo fans, battle rifles,
it's just
awesome.
An ordinary Halo gun.
Well, it's not ordinary. It's, in my opinion, the best gun to have in your hands.
You used it a lot, sure. But.
Right. My favorite BR of all time is the Halo 2 BR, followed secondly by the Halo 5 BR. That thing's amazing. Even Halo 4's BR is good. You know, it's funny. Halo 3 is an amazing game, but I think it's the weakest BR out of all of them. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying weak as in it doesn't play well, or it just doesn't feel good to me to shoot. It never quite had the punch I wanted. And of course, if you hit the guys in the head, you can kill them very quickly, like with every BR. But it just always felt a little off to me. But, it's funny I say that because Halo 3 is my favorite Halo of all time, but Halo 2, Halo 5, Halo 4 are my favorite Halo BRs. But secondly would be the Lancer from Gears of War. I thought that was my favorite. That's my favorite assault rifle from any shooter of all time. I mean, all my weapons are from shooter games. I mean, I'm sure there's cool melee weapons I've enjoyed in the past, but the Lancer from Gears I always thought fascinated me with the chainsaw in the end. I loved using it. I'm going to give a little honorable mention to the Dagger of Time from Prince of Persia as well. A dagger of time, and there it lay. Classic. But lastly, it'd be the Kar 98K from Call of Duty 3 because I slaughtered thousands of men with that weapon. And it was my favorite sniper in any game. And I've never been as good of a sniper in any other video game since Call of Duty 3. So those are my 3 favorite weapons with an honorable mention of the Dagger of Time. What about you boys?
I'm sorry for making fun of your battle rifle.
It's okay. It's okay, Jacob. Preston's, one of them's the Master Sword, of course, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Harry Potter's wand.
Yes.
From the Chamber of Secrets.
Man, this is kind of hard. I'd have to say the M40A3 in Call of Duty 4, that sniper rifle.
Totally.
That's probably the most like That's my most used gun in probably any first-person shooter ever.
That and that sweet ACOG.
Yeah. So probably that one. That one just stands out to me. The super shotgun in Doom is pretty badass too.
It is badass.
That's really cool.
That's
gun.
a good one.
I know Lancer's also really awesome. Just because a chainsaw on a gun is just, how can that not be cool?
Right.
Then I'll say Kratos's Blades of Chaos. Those are pretty badass too.
Oh,
I would say Kratos's fists are also probably my favorite weapon.
Hercules fists?
What?
The Hercules fists?
I'm just talking about Kratos's fists.
Oh.
Just ripping people's heads off and stuff is pretty deadly.
Yeah. Lara Croft's Ice Pick and Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yes.
Batman's Batarangs in the Arkham games. Yeah, I think that's about it for me.
Yeah,
I'm looking
I'd
around
say
my
from
room as usual.
Fallout 3, the Zulong assault rifle. That was my favorite gun in that game.
I will say I loved Lincoln's repeater from Fallout 3.
Yeah,
I love that.
That's
gun.
a good weapon. I would always just every Fallout 3 playthrough, I would get to the museum where you have to get the dish for Galaxy News Radio, and there are these computer terminals that you had to fill them out a certain way, so the Zulong assault rifle would spawn at this like diner, and that would like I'd get the radio going so I could listen to Three Dog Everywhere, and then I'd go pick up that assault rifle and I'd use it the entire game.
Yeah, so. I'll never forget you and I communicating back and forth, figuring all that stuff out together. It was so much fun.
Dude, if I could get Fallout 3 on PS4 with trophies, Garrett.
That would be awesome.
I don't even know
really
what
cool.
I'd do. I don't even know what I'd do.
Slightly up-res too, kind of how they did with Skyrim.
Yeah,
sweet.
Oh my god. Please, I can't.
Dude, that would be a really fun reveal at Bethesda's conference.
Holy
if they
crap.
did that, how they did with Skyrim.
That would be my never going to happen reveal thing. That right there.
Yeah, that would be so cool now that I think about it.
Yeah, that'd be so
awesome.
badass, dude. That
What about you, Jacob?
getting all the achievements in that game was a task. I did I did so many playthroughs. I mean, I'm sure I could do it like really smart now in terms of like finishing the game as like evil or good. Just knocking that out by switch. I don't know. I'm sure there are easier ways, but I did it like the longest way imaginable, and I just nicked away on the achievements on that game for like months. I swear.
Right.
So, yeah.
That'd be so awesome.
No would.
I'm just gonna keep my fingers crossed for that one.
Yeah.
What are your favorite weapons, Jacob?
There's two from Black Ops 2 that I used to use a ton. One was the MP5 or 7.
Dude, that's so generic, dude. It's just from a Call of Duty game.
I remember getting the gold, or I upgraded all the submachine guns in that game just so I could get the gold camo, or maybe it was the diamond.
Yeah,
camo.
I think you get diamond. If you
I
do
had
that.
diamond for that machine gun, or all the machine guns.
That's impressive. That's
I did
a lot
that
of
just
work.
so I could do that. I loved that gun.
Mm-hmm.
I loved that game.
Yeah,
I played a ton of Black Ops 2.
It's a great Call of Duty.
I think I got to Prestige like 7 or 8.
Nice. That's
I
impressive.
played that game way too much.
Yeah, I tell you right now, I'm going to play the F out of World War II when it comes out. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously the Kingdom Key. You know, everyone knows I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan.
Dude, that's just a key.
That's another honor.
Lame,
yeah.
dude.
That's an honorable mention for me as well. Specifically the Halloween Town Keyblade. I love that one.
Force Unleashed lightsaber. Like those are awesome. I don't know. McCree's pistol in Overwatch is really cool. I've always loved revolvers. So
nice. Speaking of Overwatch, just want to throw this in there real quick. Did you watch any of the MomoCon panel of the voice actors?
No.
It was so entertaining. I watched like the first 20 minutes of it, and it was just awesome. I mean, that's got to be the coolest cast of characters to be a part of, I think. Especially with the hype built around the game. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun to listen to.
It's cool that they actually like interact with each other.
Yeah. And just to hear how excited they are to be a part of it is so cool. Yeah. I love the guy who does McCree. He tells the story of when he saw the first image of Overwatch at some other conference. He was like, and he saw he was looking at the character. He's like, wow, this is so cool. And he saw McCree, but he called him the cowboy guy. He's like, he sees him. He's like, I could do that character. He's like, I totally do that. And apparently he got in contact with Blizzard somehow and went in for an audition. And
Matthew Mercer.
What was that?
Name?
Okay. Yeah. Mercy. It was some code name. His character had a different name. Originally McCree's character. Was he said it was Mercer?
No, his name is Matthew Mercer.
Okay, because McCree himself as well had some different name in the beginning.
I mean, his name's Jesse.
Jesse?
That's McCree's name.
Yeah, but I think he said before he was named Jesse McCree or whatever, it was some different name they were calling him at the time. But it was cool to hear how he went in and they tried different versions where he's much more Clint Eastwood style and more grunty, and then they kind of brought it up to the smooth, buttery style that he is now. But it was just a really fun thing to listen to. But that's besides the point of our favorite weapons. Is that all from you, Jacob?
Yeah.
Okay. Any honorable mentions before we move on?
Nope.
No.
Okay. Next one comes from Kelsey. And this is a phenomenal idea, which I think can make a great Let's Play at some point. She has suggested a game called Beerio Kart. Now, stick with me on this. It says, whether it's beer or an alcoholic beverage of your choosing, while you're playing Mario Kart with friends, everybody must finish their beer or drink of choice before the end of the race, but you can't drink and drive. So you have to set your controller down while you drink, which is a little interesting.
Sounds counterproductive.
Yeah, sort of, but I could see it kind of working because you could either choose to chug it or sip it as you go. But I think the best scenario is for everyone to just chug it and drive. Otherwise, how are you going to win? But I think that's an idea behind that. I think just drinking in Mario Kart sounds funny to begin with. But I thought that was an interesting idea, perhaps a Let's Play down the road. It could be really entertaining. Just kind of switch up our style of Let's Play a bit. Let's all get smashed and play Mario Kart, dude. And get Preston some Mike's Hard Lemonades.
Hell yeah, dude.
He'll be out in minutes.
Yep.
Yeah. Lastly, the next one comes from Freddie. He says, now this also has to do with alcoholic beverages. This is pretty cool. Video game related drinks. He says, which of these drinks would you have? Love your show, guys. Made me buy a PS4 and inherit a new footstool. Freddie, I hope that footstool keeps you comfortable in the evenings while you're enjoying your PlayStation 4. So this is the list of drinks. I'm not sure where this was at, but these are pretty creative. The first one's called World of Barcraft. Now, forgive me, I don't know anything about alcohol other than beer and whiskey and bourbon and wine and stuff. I don't know the specifics of how certain drinks are made, but this one's called World of Barcraft. It says, take down the foes of Azeroth with 1 Mai Tai blow, dark rum, lime blue, cacao, and orange yeast, and in parentheses it says almond. So that's World of Barcraft. The next one is the Destiny. It says, welcome, Guardian, park your sparrow and take a break from all the darkness. Prosecco, passion fruit, and Chambord are in this one. There's the last Call of Duty. It says, lock and get loaded. The explosive combination comes with Prestige, Jägermeister, Blavad, vodka, and Red Bull. That's the last Call of Duty. Next one is Deus Ex on the Beach. That's funny. You have to ask for this. Sex on the Beach, schnapps, orange, and cranberry, augmented with Goldschlager. The Skyrum is the next one. The finest drink in all of Tamriel, Skyrum has been drunk by many adventurers like you. Vanilla vodka, lavender bitters, and spiced rum. There's an Assassin's Mead that's kind of cut off. I can't see it. But out of all of those, which one appeals to you the most?
Probably the Destiny or the World of Barcraft.
Okay.
Probably the Destiny. Because it has so many things that I like in it.
The Skyrim sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I was going to say Skyrim sounds pretty good. Last Call of Duty would ravage me. I think I could slowly sip on the Skyrim. But Destiny kind of sounds good. The Destiny passion fruit sounds really good.
The last Call of Duty does sound good too.
Mm-hmm.
I think Deus Ex on the Beach sounds good too.
Yeah.
So all of them sound
Yep,
good.
all of them.
Pretty good. If I had to choose, though, off the top of my head, I'd probably go with the Skyrim.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool. Well, boys, that will do it for our extremely lengthy episode 105, Preston.
Oh, yeah. That was episode 105 of the It's Obvious Gaming Podcast, the show where my two best friends and I get together every single week to discuss video games, obviously. You find all of our content, including the video version of this podcast, over at youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming. Please be sure to leave us a review on iTunes if you haven't already. That helps us out a ton. Our goal is to get on the new and noteworthy section on the iTunes podcast list. I'm not sure if we've had any new reviews, but we have. We do.
Jacob's checking.
Okay.
Forgive me, it's loading slow.
I apologize for my lackluster internet here. I don't have a fiber connection like you do. I'm quite jealous. I've mentioned that multiple times.
I've been very satisfied with my internet at the house. It is,
you have a Comcast wireless, right?
Yeah, it's just 150 megs, and it's consistently at 150, sometimes higher, and it never drops.
I guess another great point is the fact that it's only you and Lizzie in the house, whereas at my house, my whole family is constantly using the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that is very true. But
32 5-star reviews.
So we got one new one.
One new one from Bobby C757.
Thank
Bobby
you
C.
very
I know
much,
that
Bobby
name.
C.
I recognize that name.
But
yes, Bobby.
like I said, if you haven't, that helps us out a ton. Takes no time at all to just leave us a review if you enjoy the show. We would very much appreciate that. And also, if you are listening to us on anything besides YouTube, please check us out at youtube.com/ItsObviousGaming and subscribe, and be sure to thumbs up the videos that you enjoy, or just come by just so we can get a view. Us growing on YouTube is pretty essential to for everything to grow. It'd help us out a ton. So we would definitely appreciate that. Check out our Discord channel as well. We have a lot of good discussions on there. Also our PlayStation community and our Xbox club. You can chat with other people on that platform, share some screenshots, brag about trophies, all that stuff. Find some buddies to play any games with. I'm sure with Destiny 2 coming up, you're definitely going to want to be on there to find some guys to play with. But besides that, I think that'll do it for this week. We'll be hanging out with you guys this coming weekend, starting Saturday during EA's press conference, during our live streams, which coincide with the E3 press conference. This is the first time that we are ever doing this, so I'm sure there's going to be no technical issues whatsoever. So you're going to want to be around to see it. That's for sure. But it'll all end up working out, and we'll all have a lot of good fun with each other. But besides that, I think that'll do it for this week. Garrett, do you have any closing thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. And to those of you that either choose to not to or just can't tune into our live streams, all of our pre during the show and post thoughts of every press conference will be posted to YouTube immediately afterwards. And I'm sure we'll do some additional E3 stuff spliced in there. We'll see. But I also wanted to apologize for my difficulty communicating much of anything today because I've been so exhausted. But as always, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in, sending us questions, and connecting with us on Discord and PlayStation. It's been nothing short of a great honor, and this adventure has been thrilling so far, and I can't wait to see where this whole thing takes us all together. So thank you very much for joining us.
Absolutely. Yes. All right, cool. Well, we'll see you guys next week during E3. Have a good one.
Absolutely. Goodbye, everyone.